because I got my one goal in Rocket League. I've peaked. I'm never playing this game again. So it might be time to, I'm like, how can I do this scene? Let's do this. Let's do this.
It did just drop us into a 2-5 losing match.
Yeah. Yes. What we're gonna do is we're gonna move this here and make this a little bigger. And then we're gonna move. Let's have edit.
Can I have a quick? I just need like a quick 5-minute break.
Yes.
And then I will be back.
Okay. I'm gonna change things because I feel like I'm too distracted to Rocket League right now. So it's the inaugural Just Chatting. Mental health, we're gonna put that as a tag. LGBTQIA+, we'll put those as tags. What did you expect to happen there? That we were gonna leave. And then question of the day. We're gonna go hunting for a question of the day idea. Because I think some of these could be a good... Alright. This... I feel like...
I will help you transition to Just Chatting by breaking you.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Urza, you shitlord. Why would you do this? I can't believe you did.
Oh. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Urza, you bastard. Thank you. You suck, and I love you very much. Thank you. That's what scared Urza. I mean, you can pull your chair over and join the conversation, but you're also elbow deep in Destiny right now. Urza, I can't believe you've done this, but thank you. I'm trying very hard to not cry. Oh god, that's very huge. That's what she said. Here's my very professional, why is this so huge? Jesus. Why? Why text box? Why are you so big? There we go. Here's our question of the day. Because I feel like we at least need a question. And then, I don't know. You can cry, I wouldn't judge. Alright, what we are going to do is get rid of Rocket League. This is our question of the day. And then, I would get bored. We'll switch it up. Maybe I'll find a couple more. Do the foods have to have the same configuration? All triangle-shaped foods.
Triangle-shaped foods. Okay. Straight up, would you rather only eat pizza or samosa?
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
What kind of samosa?
I guess you could say what kind of pizza, because I would straight up go samosa. I find samosas to be infinitely more satisfying than pizza, personally. But because I mean, pizza, like at some point you get to the point where like pizza, you have like a crust with stuff and cheese, right? Like,
yes.
Here's a question: Is a pizza just an elaborate open-faced sandwich?
What? I don't know how to answer that. Oh god. If I say pizza, does it have to be the same pizza always? God, this what is the meaning of life, you guys? You guys are all fucking breaking brains of mine.
Pizza is elaborate toast. You're absolutely right.
God, I'm trying to make all these questions. All right, so here's some questions of the day. This is beat of the day. Am I the only person as an adult that watched God, I don't even remember what it was called. Fuck. Okay. There we go. We have some questions. Hat fictional character. Only fictional characters that wear hats. Which one? There we go.
Sorting Hat from Harry Potter.
The sorting hat from Harry Potter. That's a good hat to meet. 1. Okay. 2. Tucked in at the end. Okay. Urza's speed running his answers.
Question percent.
Yep. No. Okay. We'll do that. Right. 1.
If my feet are restricted in any way, I can't sleep. Like, I need them to be free to be grabbed by the monsters under my bed, otherwise I can't sleep.
Hard nope. Okay, here's our questions. The texts are all different sizes, but at this point, who cares? And you know what? We're gonna do big brains, and we're gonna move me right in the middle. Okay, I feel like I need a GIF or something, just in the corner.
I feel like it does. Like, if I can't, I think maybe it's a temperature thing too as well. Like, if my feet are hot in any way, I can't sleep. So they need to be cool, which means they need to be out from under the covers. So they need to be uncovered.
Always pull the sheets out at the bottom? No. This is gonna
Yes.
No. This is gonna lead to some very heated feels. Pictures. Where did it go?
American Pierce. Wow, yes. Except you're a much better cook than I am.
Where did I save it to? Crap. Did I save it to downloads? Where did I save this? Save image as. Yeah. Pictures. Where did I... Where have you been saved? I can't find it. That feeling. Oh, that's an inappropriate photo. Where did it save? Oh, GIF files. Will this help me? There we go. Okay. I feel like I needed something moving, and so we just have a Jigglypuff hanging out with me. There we go. Okay. I have had Left's cooking. Left is a great cook. People who can't distinguish between etymology and entomology bug me in ways I cannot put into words. I hate you so much. That's such a good joke. Oh boy. Sincere question though. Do you guys like the emotes on stream thing? I stole it from Mistaken. Or I had been wanting to do it for a while, but I didn't want to like use stream elements and other things. So Mistaken showed me how to do it, and it was great. But for me, 3 foods for the rest of my life. If we're counting foods as like a whole meal, like maybe we change it from foods to meals, because then there's a little bit more. Oh God, that is amazing. We change it from foods to meals. So why don't we do that? If we could only eat 3 meals for the rest of your life, because then do we use Comic Sans right now? No, let's not. So we've changed it to meals. So if we're doing meals, roast beef, damn it, Catastrophe, that's not what I meant. You know that. Roast beef, like my nan's Sunday roast, which is a massive hunk of like prime rib, roasted potatoes. Usually she makes these carrots called kamikaze carrots, and they've got like a little bit of horseradish in them, and like man, and they're just very good. And then gravy and Yorkshire puddings.
Yorkshire puddings are so good.
Yorkshire puddings are fucking bae, and I have an amazing recipe for keto Yorkshire puddings that are very dense, but they're very good. Like they are, they're not as light and fluffy because almond flour, by its very nature, is more dense than white flour. So clearly, they're not gonna like. However, they are delicious.
So I can picture, my one meal. If I could have one meal, I would say for forever is and I'm picking this by virtue of the fact that it's like if I'm picking a meal that I want to have forever, it needs to be something that is going to not give me scurvy.
I mean, that's fair. Scurvy sounds like it wouldn't be fun, so I will give you that.
So, and I'm gonna plunk a link into chat. Just a sec while I look it up. It's a meal I make called Glory Bowl. Yeah, I know. Laugh it up, Fuzzball.
Hey. Have you know I shaved my legs 2 months ago?
Glory Bowl is it's like a Buddha bowl. It's a mixture of shredded vegetables and lettuce or spinach. It's got tofu, it's got rice or quinoa, and then it's got this dressing on it that absolutely makes it so fucking good. Like it is this dressing is just like, oh, and this meal is my favorite thing. If I could only have this forever, it's this, because it's full of vegetables. It's full of colorful greens. I like my meals to be colorful, to have all kinds of different textures and things that I really enjoy. So
time rifts. Answer the questions. Answer my questions.
I make that Glory Bowl recipe. I sometimes substitute the spinach with kale, but not always. But then I also do quinoa instead of rice. And so, yeah, it's not keto, but it is something that I really, really, really enjoy. It's my number one all-time meal for sure.
And my cousin, she makes them quite frequently, and she posted in our family Snapchat, and I'm always like, that looks so good. But just by virtue of like a bunch of the things that are in it, I'm like, I can't really make that keto. However, it's healthy AF. And yeah, time of today has been hella real, so I was like, you know what? Neither of us, like I scored 1 goal, and that's all I needed in Rocket League, and so now for about another hour-ish, we're just gonna talk and hang out, and we're gonna experiment with some just chatting, because I like the idea of just chatting streams, and I like the idea of like having a co-host, like another voice at least in chat, in the stream voice chat.
Hello.
That's a good Vine. But I think I posed this question the other night of like, are you guys interested in just chatting streams? Because on the one hand, I'm like, I like them, but I realize there are certain things that I do, certain games and things that I stream that people come for specifically for that and don't necessarily come for some of the other stuff. And then there are those of you that, regardless, will show up and talk with me regardless of what I am playing. And so like, I don't know, I don't want to like, it's my stream. I can do what I want. I can cry if I want to. I already did. I held it mostly together, but when the stream lights go away, I'm going to go in my bathroom, sit in the shower and cry. Urza, thank you. But, and that is true, I did pose that question because you brought it up, Time Rift, so I'm happy that you're here. Because this is all your fault. But I like the idea. I like talking to people. That's one of the reasons why I do the job that I do, is I find people's stories and things very interesting, and I would love to try and do like once a month something like this, like a once a month just chatting stream where maybe we have a topic in mind, maybe we don't, maybe we make it #too-real and it's somewhere safe for people to go. And the nice thing about doing it on a stream, I was going to say, oh, there's no record of it. There'd be a VOD for a bit. Anyway, I'm not partnered, so I don't have indefinite VODs. But, you know, if someone wants to talk about something and it's safer to do so in this format for them versus like the Real Talk or the To Your Good Health or the Just Listening channel, those are, you know, that's an option too. Anyway, I'm completely ignoring you guys. The whole point of just chatting is for me to look at chat, and I'm not right now. So let's do that. Time Rift says Madras curry, fried rice, and chili. Sheets out.
Sheets out club. We got another one, Aaron. We got one.
So the only reason, okay, number one, up until this last, when did we start dating? Almost 18 months. I was a duvet, no sheets. I don't want a top sheet. Fuck top sheets. I would take them off in hotels. I didn't use them since I was like 10.
Yeah, I'm not a sheet person either.
No. I need my duvet, my comforter, like maybe a couple other layers of blankets, especially when it was wintertime and I had an apartment with electric heat, but no sheets, no top sheet. Useless to me. And now I has a sheet on my bed, and it's weird, and I'm still not used to it because I've spent more of my life sleeping without sheets than I have with a sheet, a top sheet. And it works out fine because a certain someone is a furnace, and like you take the duvet off, you're too cold, but if you don't have anything else, you're too, like if you have more than a sheet, then you're too hot, and it's just, you know, sheets out. The Benoit Blanc mystery. I haven't seen Knives Out. I should watch that movie because I like.
You gotta watch it. You gotta.
Also,
it's.
I'm very delayed. Hey, Baramedical, my favorite paramedic, Grizzly Bear. How are you? The only paramedic, Grizzly Bear. But I understand Knives Out is great. I love. The only other Rian Johnson thing that I'm aware of that I have seen has been The Last Jedi, and we all know how I feel about The Last Jedi. So.
Yeah. The first Rian Johnson movie I watched was Brick. And Brick is a sort of modern adaptation of a classic noir detective story, and it is good. And a lot of the DNA that you see in Knives Out, you can see in some of those earlier ones as well. Brick, 100% worth watching. Rian Johnson is an amazing filmmaker.
All right, let me go back and quickly catch up with something that were said. Mapo is pretty nutritious. Protein, tofu, main source. Beans, chilies, served over rice for carbs. Chilies legitimately have some good nutrition. Chilies are delicious. I very much enjoy chilies. Urza's other meals. Cheeseburger with onions. Hey, Paramedical. Thank you for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Bienvenue à Canada, mon ami. Enjoy Aaron Go Lude, the best emote on Twitch. Thank you. Urza would have cheeseburger with onions, ketchup, and fries, and a chicken Caesar salad. I like it. Those are all delicious. I also love you in the best ways, Urza, for sheets tucked in and snuggled in with significant weight pressure. See, nice. Yeah, I like what I need is a thunder coat for adults, for humans, because thunder coats are for dogs. Just pressure, just soothing pressure. You actually know someone from the division. Your wife is sheets out. I think a talk show with me is a brilliant idea. You guys, don't inflate my ego any more than it already is. Sheets tucked in makes sense as a phrase. What the fuck does sheets tucked out? Hey, leave me alone. Ooh, yes. Yeah, I need a weighted blanket, but like also, is there a weighted blanket that you can wear around the house or while doing things that make you anxious, like being in crowds and going to the grocery store? I just need queen size weighted blanket, and it's essential for living with someone with anxiety. I really hope this year medication. Look. I can't take.
You asked.
I can't take Ativan and go to Superstore because you're gonna have to push me in the cart because I have passed out.
that's the thing is that like Ativan is for acute anxiety attacks.
That's true.
Right?
If
you need something like sertraline or something like that. That is like a general anti-anxiety medication that you can take on a daily basis that will keep you on a more of an even keel. And I'm not trying. Here's the thing. I'm not a doctor. Talk to your doctor. I'm not recommending any medication. I'm not qualified to do that. But I'm just recommending what has worked for the woman that now I have been living with for 12 years.
I love how you're like 12 years.
As I stare off into the middle distance.
It's been 12 wonderful years. Now I know. I at least 6 of those have been good.
I want you. I
love your wife.
I love my wife. We have a very healthy relationship, and
goals.
I'm not sitting here being like boomer humor,
Yeah,
I hate my wife.
I hate my wife.
No,
guys.
that's absolutely not the case.
If you hate your
We
wife,
we have a very loving and happy home. So, but we do both struggle with mental illness, and the only way that we get through that is with medication.
I like Bear's suggestion of just buy a weighted blanket and cut some sleeves into it and wear it around like some sort of regal coat. I would
a poncho, a weighted poncho,
a weighted poncho with a hood. Yes. This is someone knit me a weighted poncho.
So, okay, a weighted poncho is like a multi-million-dollar idea.
I fucking boom. I'm gonna copyright that right now and DMCA you later. Catastrophe's got a king-size weighted blanket. It does get in the way of snuggles. See, and that would be the like. I don't know if we would both want a weighted blanket, or would I just get like a double size one and have it just on my sides. But if you did put the thunder shirt on me, I would do what my dog does, which is just stand very.
Yes.
He wants a weighted blanket too, apparently. I could drop the veneer of the green screen and you can join me. You guys can see what's behind the. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Behind every good female streamer, there's a boyfriend who shuts up and knows his place.
Wow. Oh my god.
Sorry. Weighted poncho. What is this, Dragon Ball Z? Holy fuck, wow. Sorry. Yes, that was a little mean, but I mean, hashtag fuck men, am I right? Men ain't shit. Weighted ponchos are already a thing.
Okay, here's the thing. I understand that like men in general get a very bad rap, and I'm not coming in here to be hashtag not all men. And so I should probably just shut up in general, but like you love your partner. We're gonna get way too real, and I know he can hear this, and he already knows these things. Okay,
I after years of either being alone or being in relationships that were so not good for me in multiple ways that everybody knew but me. For those who don't know, a couple years ago, I was supposed to get married to someone, and about a week before said wedding, I didn't want to do it and told them so. And that is... I was going to make myself go through with said wedding because I didn't want people to be upset with me when I told them I was getting married and they gave me gifts. Like, this is how bad it was of like, I could tough it out. And so I don't know what possessed me, but I finally gave a crap about my feels and listened to the red flags and warnings that other people have been giving me for a little while. And it's the best decision I ever made because a few months later, friendship that was already pretty awesome turned into something more, and I still struggle with feeling like I deserve this level of happiness and comfort and safety and contentment, but Yeah, I guess Backspace was all right. He's like, he opens the jars and kills spiders and makes me.
Hey, don't knock jar opening. It's a
It is a
regular
skill.
service.
It is.
How about reaching tall things?
Also, well, he's not as tall as you, but taller than me, and so it is nice to have someone get the high things off the shelf, kill the spiders, and wash the dishes, because those are things that I can't do, and also to just have someone.
And also,
who
how
is-
about being like an emotionally available and mature person in your life who gives a shit about you and like builds you up and like helps you be a better person?
Yeah. Having a cheerleader in my corner and someone who actually cares if I do well and doesn't make it about them and supports me in doing this. Because that was a
Yeah.
bone of contention with other people and stuff like that, and is just genuinely like, hey, you're pretty great sometimes. Just unprompted compliments.
Yeah.
But also,
I'll be honest with you.
go on. I like honesty sometimes. Unless the honesty is going to hurt my feelings, then I don't want honesty. I want you to gaslight and lie me.
Like, I've been a very what?
Oh. Uh-oh. Is Pierce... What happened to Pierce?
I'm here. I just heard a rapid stream of words like all at once, super
Oh.
fast, and I could not understand what was said. And then I went like, "What?" And then I guess I dropped out for a second.
Yeah, because you were like, what? And then nothing happened, and I was like, oh no. Better just be a
What
super
I heard
just
was
for jarring.
like it was like a super garbled series of words. Nani?
Nani?
Yeah. So I will say, I love and support you unconditionally. Like,
Yes.
you're my best friend, and regardless of what had happened with that, I would have supported you, but I will. Things are so much better for you now, and it just makes me so happy. And that's something that I know that you it's hard sometimes to see or feel when you're in the middle of it,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, you must hear it, from other people that you feel a little bit more validated.
Yes, it is. So I was having a bit of a heckin' struggle a little while ago, and I was talking to this was at a girls' night in the summer when we could be outside by a fire and be a little bit further apart, and we're all in each other's work bubbles anyway, me slightly less than everybody else. However, I hate that I feel the predicate of I saw people, it was safe, I swear to God we washed our hands. I hate that I have to do that nowadays, because 2020 do be like that. But a girlfriend of mine was she was like, the thing that changed for you was you started doing keto and eating better and looking after yourself in a way that you hadn't since we had met in 2016 when I moved back to town and started working in the office I work in now. She's like, you started to care, and that was reflected in how you talked about yourself, how you dressed, because before it was pretty just all black, don't look at me, drab, shapeless clothing. And as I started to lose weight and feel better, it reflected in she was like, the biggest thing I noticed is your bun went from old lady, matronly, back of the head, to cute top knots. And she's like, that was the big, once your bun went from here to here, she's like, it was over. And that was, I was like, I didn't even think about it that way. But
Okay, so here's the thing as well, is
Hi,
that
geek.
your worth is not determined by
my
the weight
physical
on
appearance,
the
no.
scale and your physical appearance. However, I know that you do feel more confident and more, that way when you are eating healthier and sort of taking care of yourself that way. So I always want to support and encourage you to continue those things that make you feel good. But at the end of the day, the person that people care about and the attitude and personality that you bring forward is you, regardless of what your physical body looks like. So I would just want to say that.
And that a lot of that of like self-worth tied into waistline and appearance was again youth and childhood traumatic things that still manifests itself, and I'm 32 years old, but I'm working on it. But that was part of it as well. Like, I think I've told this story before. I don't know if on stream, but I've definitely told it to people where like content warning, food and weight and self-esteem and potential eating disorder talk. So heads up right now. I didn't know what love handles were. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know it was a thing. And I had on this pair of pants that was, remember in the early 2000s when everything, like the 1-inch zipper, like the tiny pants with like, how are they staying on? What is holding those pants up type jeans when those were popular? I had some of those on, and those aren't, you know, unless you are of a certain physique, which I wasn't at that point, but I was still in shape and healthy. Then, you know, it sort of went like waist, little bit of this, and then pants. And I vividly recall my mom being like, you have love handles, you can't wear those out of the house. And I was like, well, what the fuck are those? And went to Yahoo, because this was before Google was big, and looked it up. And then like that, I can pinpoint that as the moment where I started to become very body conscious about what I was wearing and worried about those things. And I look back now and know that I was like 125, 130 pounds. I'm about 5'5" on a good day. If my bun's up high, I'm 5'6". If my bun's down low, I'm about 5'5". So I was about 125, 130 pounds, and I was active. I played rugby, I played soccer, I walked more, I like did things, and all of that changed to the point of like binge eating, and then purging, and then binge eating, and then purging. And then I got a job at McDonald's, and at McDonald's, when you do a good job on a shift or you do a thing, you get a food reward. And those are good and bad. So I could get cheeseburgers for at minimum 50% off. So you get like 7 cheeseburgers, and it was like $4. And yeah, Aaron had a very unhealthy relationship with food. Bear, I had great success with keto, and I had tried a lot of other things. I had tried Weight Watchers. My parents signed me up for Weight Watchers. I tried Jenny Craig. I tried Nutrisystem. I went to Curves. I went to this gym. I went to that gym. I tried Whole30. I tried going vegan. Like, I tried lots of stuff, and keto is the only thing that has worked for me long term. I have lost 100 pounds when I started doing keto in May of 2018. So 100 pounds, 2 years, just not so bad. Now, to be fair, I did have a bit of the quarantine feels, and I probably put 20 back on. So
tell me about it. Oh
so
my God.
We're at a net loss of 80, which is still very impressive. Geek salads are expensive, which is frustrating that you can go to McDonald's and get a cheap ass cheeseburger, but the salad costs more. Like, so yeah. In the last little while, I have recommitted to, okay, I'm going to eat better, and, you know, I can still order skip the dishes. And if I'm going to order skip the dishes, I'm going to make sure it's as keto compliant as I want, so I can have that reward of, I really, really want a Triple O burger, because Triple O's makes fucking amazing hamburgers. But, you know, you can get it with no bun, or you can get it lettuce wrapped, and I don't need fries, and I don't need onion rings. Like, literally a burger is more than enough. And like, reevaluating my relationship with food has been really good for me. And I just re-downloaded an app that I was using before called Chronometer, which I assume it's on iPhones. I have an Android. And it's nice because it has a barcode scanner. So if I put cream in my coffee, I can scan the barcode, and it already inputs like, this is 1 serving. How many servings did you have of the cream and things? So I speak very highly of keto. It worked very well for me. It doesn't work for everybody in the same way that like going vegan didn't work for me, or doing Whole30, because Whole30 was even more restrictive. Like paleo is sort of a nice middle ground where there are some grains and other things that are okay, but it's worked for me. And I always joke of like, oh, a diet that lets me eat bacon and brie, sign me up. But like, I also have leafy green salads and lots of brightly colored vegetables, and it just makes me be more mindful and cognizant of, am I hungry or am I bored?
That was the big thing for me in watching what I'm eating. Now I have completely fallen off. I have been eating my feelings for about 2 months now, so it had kind of erased a lot of the progress that I had made over the last little while. However, the part for me has always been, I was for the longest time a very high performing athlete. So
yes.
I was probably burning thousands of calories a day. However, I was taking in, like 2,000 to 3,000 calories a day, working out 5-6 days a week. And then my body started to break down. I blew out my knee. I separated my shoulder. I broke my hand. And as soon as that happened and I stopped the exercise, my body did not know how to be hungry.
Yeah.
As soon as I felt the urge that, oh, I'm feeling the urge to eat, it was like, well, I'd better sate that urge. And so what helped me, like the initial time that I did keto, I was down 35 pounds and was feeling great. However, like I fell off just because we talked a lot about mental illness and stuff like that. But it was that feeling of like, how do I renegotiate my brain's relationship with my stomach and understand that being a little bit hungry for an hour while I wait for a meal that I've prepared that has the proper nutritional value for me is not a bad thing. Like, it's like being slightly hungry and having some hunger pangs, I can then look forward to that meal and have, a little bit of that's the reward, right? As opposed to like, oh, I'm hungry on my break at work, I better go to the gas station near the office and like get candy or something like that,
But those gas station candy bags are so good.
They're so good.
But it's finding something else to either like realizing like, okay, I'm hungry, but I'm not going to die if I don't eat right now.
That's right. And that's the thing, is that like, you're not going to die of hunger. Yeah. Drink lots of water. If you want something, like have a cup of tea, like have some decaf tea or something like that. Or like have a cup of green tea if you really need, or a cup of coffee, like just be careful with what you're putting in it, that kind of stuff. I can drink green tea with nothing in it. So it's just the tea, and that's, so, and when I'm doing well, those are the things that I can tell myself. Like when I'm down, like when way down in the well, like, with any of the things that are going on in my life, like those voices, those just like that impulsivity of like decreasing that distance between urge and reward. It's like this conditioning that we've done where it's like, I feel bad, I want to stop feeling bad. What's the easiest way that I can stop feeling bad? And it's like, well, if this can't, like, food. Yeah. And like certain points in my life, it was substances. Like for probably 15-20 years of my life, I smoked pot every single day. Every single day, I would at very least have like a tiny little hoot of weed. And it was a very now that I'm sober and have been for since August, which is I'm really proud of. Like I haven't,
you should be.
I've been completely sober for the first time probably since high school, for an extended period of time, since August. So like you said, renegotiating that reward system where you're like able to now might as well get rid of these prompts. Yeah.
I haven't even finished answering them. I have the last question I haven't answered.
Well, we started talking about food, and we did have a good sarcastic discussion about why people are wrong about having their sheets feet covered or not covered, basically.
No socks.
I don't think we had a single. Do we have a single answer to the fictional character?
Time Rift had said someone from the division.
Oh, okay.
No socks. I will start in socks because I cannot sleep if my feet are cold, but once I'm in bed and I have warmed up, then the socks get kicked off. And
Socks
same
if
thing with
camping is a good caveat, because if you need to get up out of the tent at night,
Yeah.
you don't want to be searching for your socks.
No. Or you have a pair like by your pillow. For me, fictional character I wish I could meet. I don't know. There's so many. And so up until this year, it honestly probably would have been somebody from Harry Potter. But my relationship with that certain piece of media has greatly changed. And that's makes me sad that something that was so formative and important to me I sort of look at with a completely different lens now, and like that's a whole other like death of the author conversation that we could have another just chatting day. But Hermione aside,
Yeah, you should assign some reading beforehand. Be like, everyone needs to go watch Lindsay Ellis.
yes.
And then
Everybody
we'll come
go
back
watch
and
the Lindsay Ellis Death of the Author. Also watch her video Why Is Cats. Fucking
Why Is Cats is
it's
so fucking
so good. I learned so many things. Also, anything Jenny Nicholson puts out as well is also good, except for her quest for the man-sized spider. I clearly, for reasons, have not watched that one.
Yeah.
Miss Frizzle is a fantastic answer. I was gonna go with something that was same, different, and
That
say
get messy, make mistakes is, if you live your life by those tenets, you know you're on the right track.
Yes.
Absolutely.
If we weren't, if I'm gonna pick someone other than Miss Frizzle because I think she would be fantastic. Captain Janeway and 7 of 9. Any strong female character who could kick me in the throat and make me be happy for it, sign me up. Like, I think Captain Janeway is awesome, and Voyager is my favorite Star Trek. I said it. Fight me. TNG's good. Didn't care for Deep Space Nine. But I think Janeway is a badass motherfucker. And I loved Voyager. I love Voyager. It is a good Star Trek. B'Elanna could also spit in my face, and I would say, thank you, ma'am, another. So, there's... Aaron has a thing for very strong ladies. And I blame Kate Beckinsale from Underworld. It's something about that cat suit and vampires. I've always had a thing for vampires. Aaron also has a spit fetish, we've discovered. Not in 2020. I don't watch fucking COVID. But yeah, see, Geek, Voyager's great. It was so interesting. And because they were in the Delta Quadrant and in an area of space that no one had ever been before, they could have all these fucking weird species and like all of this new canon that they could play with, and it was great. I love Vampire Captain Janeway. Yes. Gandalf is a fantastic answer. There's been a video making the rounds on Twitter recently where someone's watching it with their grandmother, and like they know the Balrog's coming, and then it pans over to grandma and she just quietly goes, "Here comes the Balrog," and it's heartwarming and pure. And even Gandalf himself retweeted it. Thinking of food and food daddies and other things, I am disappointed as fuck to find out Alton Brown is a shitlord.
Yeah, him coming out and being like, I've always been a conservative right-wing person, but this administration has gone too far. And it's like, well, it was this administration that told you that, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I will never look at Cutthroat Kitchen or Iron Chef America or anything else. Fuck it. Get rid of Elton Brown and give me all Ted Allen and Guy Fieri. Because you know what? I feel like Guy Fieri's secretly a good guy. But really, yeah, he told on himself in some very bad ways. And Pierce, goddammit. I'm trying to have a serious conversation. But yeah, that makes me like, I talked about this. I remember Tagmer being in the chat. So this was not that it's been a while since Tagmer has been here, but I just recall Tagmer having some good points about like, it is understandable to want to hold people to task and not enjoy media or things that come from unsavory places a la Ubisoft or Activision Blizzard or EA and places like that. Especially Ubisoft with Esquimaux being like, I didn't know that this was going on. You fucking knew, buddy. You can't plead ignorance. And so like, I don't want to shit on people's parade when they're like stoked for Assassin's Creed Valhalla and they're stoked for Watch Dogs and all of these games, or the same people that are stoked for Cyberpunk. I don't like CDPR. I want to play The Witcher, but I won't play The Witcher because CDPR makes it, and I think crunch is a failing of the system and shouldn't exist, and that and the whole like trans fetishization that's kind of seems like it's been happening in Cyberpunk. I'm like, I'm not gonna play it. I'm not gonna begrudge anyone if they want to play it and stream it and enjoy it, but I struggle with, is it hypocritical for me to speak out about said thing and then still pick up said game? There's a meme that goes around that's like, oh, you're critical of capitalism and yet you participate in capitalism. Is there any other way? Like, this is the society we live in, and the only way that
we have a choice.
Yes, exactly. Do I have a choice to live in a capitalist society? No. Not.
Like, thanks, Ben Shapiro.
Yeah. Go fucking owned the snowflakes. Anyways, but yeah, and the Holocaust comment, that was a whole like, what do you think they're gonna march us to for the gas chambers? Like, holy fuck you, Elton Brown. Unfollowed on all social media, and it is a shame because I genuinely love Good Eats. Good Eats was fascinating because you learned, there was an episode all about the history of just baklava, which is delicious, and also like explains where it came from and how they make it, and like I love knowing those things, and I can't enjoy that anymore knowing that Elton Brown's
so I mentioned earlier that I was an athlete and that I participated at a high level of sports and competition, and that was a big part of my life for
you were on our high school football team.
I was, like I played 4 years of university football as well. Like I went on after high school.
You were very good.
And I was a provincial champion in track and field and did a lot of things. And so, but one of the people that I was probably most responsible for instilling the work ethic and drive and habits that got me to the high level of competition that I got to was a track coach at the Kamloops Track and Field Club that I competed at. And years later, this is probably about 2 years ago now at this point, where I was like, I wonder what he's up to. And they I really respected that guy. He was a bit abrasive, he was a bit abusive, but he really did. And it's like almost like survivor's guilt. Like he was abusive, but at the end of the day, he did get more out of us, and so you're kind of like overlook. You wash over some of those bad things. And I go and I look him up, and I'm like, Google I won't name drop him because I don't need to put that out into the world. But I Googled him and I found him on Twitter. And I found him, and he had all these posts about how trans women should not be competing as women. And I was just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Are you like, this is the hill you're gonna die on? Where it's like, oh, these women, these aren't women. And it's like, oh my God, are you?
Yeah.
And so I was like, I immediately hit follow on Twitter. And then I was like, okay, let's read some of the tweets. Nope. Unfollow.
Unfollow, block. And yes, media consumption is tricky as shit. And there is, I think it was like I brought up Tagmer because Tagmer made the point of it is tricky, and no company is perfect. There is no company, no person, no anything that has a completely spotless record. And it is one thing if a company or person, let's use the James Gunn argument for example, or you know what, even Patton Oswalt. Let's not use James Gunn because I'm not as familiar with that one as I am with Patton Oswalt. Patton Oswalt's one of his first stand-up specials. I deleted it off of my comedy playlist, and I love Patton Oswalt because it was pretty homophobic in spots, and I just couldn't get around it. And I know that it has been brought up in the past, and he has since then, I think, demonstrated, and I would believe other people would agree with me, that he has demonstrated that was like a 20-year ago thing, and he has grown and learned and matured and developed as a human being. And 2020 Patton Oswalt is not the same as like 1998 trying to be edgy and funny Andrew Dice Clay style Patton Oswalt. And like people change, and if you hold adult 32-year-old Aaron to the same, like if you take the standards you have for me now and apply them to me when I was 18, oh god, that was awful. So much internalized misogyny, so much internalized homophobia. I don't know how to, like, not homophobia, not, but I don't know, like I was like, ew, you can't say girls are pretty because that means you're gay. Stuff like that. Also, what's up, Mr. Keys? It's very real right now. That whole mindset of like, you can't find a person of the same gender attractive because that instantly means you're a lesbian. Like that sort of thinking. I used the term gay in a way that isn't, it was derogatory and rude, and I hate that I did that, especially knowing that I would say those things around my sister while she was still in the closet. And, you know, if I could go back and, like, apologize to her then and tell her that I love her and that word is not okay and I shouldn't be using that, I absolutely would. And, like, she knows that I love her. Full stop. Like, I love my sisters and my family, and I love my sister-in-law, and I love my sister's girlfriend. So, you know, like, if you take the standards you're holding me to now with how I act and the values I have at the moment and plunk them onto 18-year-old me, canceled, like, I would be canceled immediately. And yeah, Justin Trudeau's Aladdin costume that was a whole thing. And, like, it's still inexcusable. It wasn't okay then, and it's not okay now, and these things have never been okay, but we are getting to a point where people are more comfortable and more confident in saying this thing is not okay. And, like, looping back to using the word gay in a derogatory sense, if anyone would ever call me on that, I would default to the argument of, well, South Park had this episode about how language changes, and, like, and the word they were using in that episode was even worse.
Was the F word?
Yes, the other F word. The other F word. The second bad F word. There's multiple. But that was always my, like, edgelord argument of, like, doesn't mean that anymore, but, like, it doesn't.
But you're still hurting people.
I'm still hurting people who are libertarian in high school.
I want to make like a quick point about like, and especially as in regards to the quote unquote gotcha nature of say you bring up Justin Trudeau's blackface, right?
Yeah.
Or you bring up comments or quotes or, like, you know, like a lot of for instance, I don't know if you know, there is a very left-wing, a very socialist games journalist. His name is Patrick Klepek. Do you know Patrick Klepek?
I believe I've heard the name, but I don't know
he writes for Vice Gaming.
Oh, okay, then I've probably read an article or two of his on Vice Gaming.
So he has been a games journalist for decades, right? Mm-hmm. You know, he's been writing in games journalism since he was like 14 years old.
Mm-hmm. When it was just on, like, Game Facts.
Yeah, exactly. So he made the point where it came out and it was a big gotcha story where, oh, look at this paragon of left-wing games journalism. And it was, he was a big anti-Gamergate guy and that kind of stuff. And it came out and it's like, oh, well, look at this old photo bucket account that he has where he posted all of this stuff that was very racist and misogynistic and all of these things. And I think he made the point at the time, and it's something that really resonates with me, which is like, yes, that was the culture at the time. Like we were products of our environment. Aaron, we grew up in the same small town. You know how racist Kamloops is.
Oh yeah.
like you know specifically how
awful it can be here.
How that awful small community, especially the suburbs, especially the white suburbs,
especially the area of town I still live in.
Yeah. And so these are the things where it's like, however, by saying, hey, look at what you used to think, that it gives this idea, and it gives this, sorry, I knocked my mic. It gives the impression that it's like, you see, behind even behind the left-wing people, they're just like us.
Yeah,
everybody's racist and shitty in their hearts. And it doesn't give anyone the license to grow or change or acknowledge the hurt that they've caused and move forward. I've caused harm in my life, right? Like I've hurt people, and I've changed. I've dedicated myself to being a non-violent person. I dedicate my life and my work to making sure that people in general, the worst people in our society, can then move forward and change. And so like, this is something that like, if it came out now, like if someone popped into your Discord and was just like, look at all the shit Pierce did back when he was 20, and you'd be like, wow, that's awful. Yeah. But like, weigh that against the person that you know now, and all of the good that we do now, and all of the change that we do now. So I guess I just wanted to say that, like, where we're at, I believe that anyone can change. I believe that certain people have a harder time than others, but as long as you're able to acknowledge the harm that you've done, own up to it, and then dedicate yourself in a real way to move forward and change and heal, that's all you can do, right? And you know what? Like, I have to live with the stuff that I've done. And I do, and I feel intense shame. And so... But
it's letting that shame drive you to positive changes and continuing to grow versus just reveling in the shame and giving in and using it as an excuse, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Like, I did these bad things and I feel bad about it, and no one likes feeling bad. In the work that Pierce and I do, we teach people about, like, these are the words we use at work. So, grain of salt. I'm going to try and quickly explain some of the stuff that we do. But
it's fine. I can coach you if you're off mark.
Thanks, coach. Also, before I jump into this, Mr. Key says they live in a small town and someone called 911 because a black guy looked dangerous while reading on a wharf in his car. See, it happens in Canada. Like, it's also stupid. Tagmer, I hope you are warm and dry from your walk to the bank. That sucks that it poured rain. No, I don't like walking in the rain. There's a reason I only lived in Vancouver for 1 year. Anyway, so the most important things that drive you are your thoughts. How you think and what your beliefs and values are influence how you behave in any situation. And those are the only things in our entire lives that we can control, is our thoughts and our attitudes and our behaviors. Like, those thoughts and feelings drive our behaviors. I'm trying to do like quick 5-minute sticks here. So the biggest rewards and punishments come from within. So I always tell my clients, I'm like, I can sit here from sun up until sundown and either heap praise on you and say that you are good, that you are worthy, that you are making good changes, and that you're doing a good job. If you don't believe me and your internal response to that is no, I'm not, then you're going to listen to you. You're not going to listen to me. And so trying to give ourselves cookies or rewards internally when we do something good, those those are the ones you need to listen to, not the boots, or, you know, either more of what we don't like or less of something that we like is a boot. It's, God. I'm jumping all over the place. We've taken the train, and instead of starting at the right station, I've jumped to like 3 different ones back and forth.
It's fine. The train station analogy doesn't work because everybody's at a different spot in their development. But you know, you're right in that, like,
don't tell Jason. That's his favorite analogy.
I know, but Jason isn't the coordinator anymore.
That's
he
also
works
true.
over in someone else.
Yeah.
You're right in that, like, cookies are things that give us more of what we want, and
Yes.
they get us closer to where we want to be. And
To our
boots are
goals.
boots are things that drive us down
Mm-hmm.
and take us away. And that's the lesson, is that, like, cookies are things that teach us, and boots are things that confuse us and don't get us closer, right?
Everyone's like, I like cookies. I'm like, see, perfect.
See,
this is
you
why
get
we
it.
use.
If we could, that's why cookies are the term that we use, because, you know, like, most people, if you're like, hey, do you like cookies? They're like, yeah, fuck yeah, I like
love
cookies.
I've never met, when I've introduced this concept to a client, I have never had someone go, I don't like cookies. And if they did, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
what baked good do you like? Brownies? Cool, we'll use brownies. You like donuts? Cool, we'll use donuts. Like, you know, whatever sweet
Yeah,
treat.
if you're celiac, it's like,
Yeah.
what treat do you like?
What treat do you like that isn't going to inflame your lower intestines? So, I am
Yeah.
food motivated. I understand that is not something you're supposed to describe a person. Or please have so much food. Oh, I'm gonna stuff my face with so much Skyline chili. Of course, you like donuts.
Ah!
Ah. You also spelled it wrong, but like
Oh,
I am very.
says the person that spells hiccup.
Yeah. What's your point?
Wrong.
You're wrong. Your face is wrong. Shade being thrown across the green screen. However, as someone who is food motivated as well, like, food is my treat if I've done something well. I went vegan for a whole month and then was like, I did a good job. I'm going to have a steak as a treat. Like, you know,
Yeah.
defeating the whole purpose of being a vegan. But if, like,
But your
food
point-
rewards aren't inherently bad.
Yeah.
And the Clean Plate Club, to jump back to a conversation like 20 minutes ago, isn't inherent, depending on how it is implemented, isn't inherently bad. I can understand the concern about food waste, but big corporations have made us feel like we're the ones wasting food and not them, so that they can keep doing it and we feel bad about shit. So I
And
definitely...
meanwhile, grocery stores are the biggest
Biggest food wasters.
Food wasters.
Yes.
It's the same
Why
shit
would I
where it's
donate
like, you know, like,
this?
40 corporations are like take care of, like, the vast overwhelming majority of pollution. Meanwhile, it's like, ugh, if you're not recycling, then you're
You're a
killing
bad
the environment.
person.
It's like-
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to a point that you
Hashtag
made,
capitalism.
Aaron,
Yes.
just specifically about, like, the thought behavior link, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is like at the root of what we're talking about here, which is like our attitudes, which are collections of thoughts and beliefs about things. And, you know, like, when we're linking it up to, you know, like, this progressive communal space that
Mm-hmm.
we've built, this community that you've built, you know, and you've fostered all of this, you know, like, we have a lot of people who look back at things that they regret. People that they were and things they've said and done that they regret. And that regret, that attitude, that feeling of shame and the desire to change is the only thing that really drives us to new acceptance and new change, where, you know, like, we're not looking at people and saying, you know, like, wow, you made a mistake in your past and you're not welcome here.
Yeah, you're bad
What
for
we're saying,
forever.
what we're looking at is, what are your attitudes now? What are your behaviors now?
Mhm.
And if your behaviors and your thoughts and your attitudes aren't in line, you know, we'll give you fair chance to engage and change. I mean, there's certain things that are non-starters.
Yeah.
If you are a Nazi, if you believe that white people are superior, I don't care. You can fuck off.
Yeah.
Like,
If you're a turf,
like,
pound
I
sand.
am not. I have zero amount of time to correct that level of fuck uppedness.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's gonna be an actual professional's job. You know,
Yes.
Nazi punks, fuck off.
Yes.
Nazi everything, fuck off.
Yes. Nazis, off
so-
you will fuck.
Yeah, so like, but if someone comes in and like we have had, I have had even now, periods of time where it's like, whoa, that was a little bit out of line, and we have a conversation, and I've apologized, and I've reached out, and I've dedicated myself to doing better. A big part of that has been maintaining my sobriety, because when I get drunk, I get angry and I get salty and I lash out. So I want to be part of your community. I want to be a role model. I want to be someone that people look at and they say, okay, that's the kind of person that, like, this community wants, and that's something that I have as a goal, which is to be a source of good and a source of like, okay, hey, that's someone who thinks like I do, right? And someone who behaves in a way that makes me feel safe and included. And so regardless of what people have done in the past, as long as you come into our community and you make an honest and concerted effort to be a good person, I think you have a spot.
Yep. Everybody is welcome. Caveat: Nazis, TERFs, etc., and so on. However, I try very hard to make sure, and maybe to my own detriment, because considering the line of work I'm in, I really hate conflict. And I'm just like, can everybody just get along and we all just agree to disagree? And I try very hard to ensure that people are able to have somewhere safe to voice their thoughts and opinions on things, and that people don't, pineapple on pizza as an example. And I was guilty of this too, of being like, you like Hawaiian pizza? Fuck off, you're wrong, blah, blah, blah. And dogpiling on people who like pineapple on pizza. I just don't like pineapple. I don't like it on anything. I don't like it by itself. I don't like it in my cocktails. I certainly don't like it on my pizza. But there's a lot of things I don't like on my pizza. What, you don't like me? I love you, Mr. Keys. You are fantastic. You can stay. But I'm like, I would dogpile on those people and be like, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And I, even though that's a small thing of just it's pizza, doesn't matter. If I don't want that slice of pizza, I just don't eat that slice of pizza. That being a foreign concept to me, however, if you're gonna dogpile on someone for something as insignificant as what toppings they like on their pizza or don't like on their pizza, or if they even like pizza, because some people, I have been told, don't like pizza, and I would be sad. But again, as Redacted said, more for me if you don't like pizza, depending on what's on it. But where I was going with that,
yeah, but
was
we don't have pizza in the chat. We don't have actual sentient pizza in the chat who's like, wow, you're straight up denying my right to exist.
Yes.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. But I think I more mean if you're gonna, I just want to try and avoid dog piles on people for anything, whether it's okay, maybe not. I'm having one of those moments where I'm like, I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to put it into words. I interrupted
you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We were just talking about food waste. Well, if we're already ordering a pizza, Jeff, and you're not going to eat it, I'll eat it, and then that whole pizza's not going to be wasted. Idle, you are at least a sentient hot dog. It's in generals. Somehow you still managed to live together. Somehow. Yeah, God forbid. Then why did we order a pizza I don't like? Well, and that's the thing, is I have 8,000 different food aversions for multiple reasons, between taste, texture, multiple other things. A safe bet for me, either just straight up shit tons of cheese or pepperoni. Just meat, cheese in my face. It's preference, and it does get so heated, and people are like, why would you do this? Because I don't like it for no reason other than I just don't like the taste. I also don't like mushrooms. I like the flavor and the umami, salty, earthy goodness that mushrooms add to things. So I will cook something with mushrooms, and then I will pick them out and put them on Backspacer's plate. Or when I make salad, I will include things in the salad that I don't like cucumbers, because I think they taste like nothing. And give them to Backspacer because he likes cucumbers. Mr. Q, hello. It's been very real. Hopefully that doesn't scare you away. It's delicious nothing. But yeah, I don't like pickles. He eats my pickles. When we go somewhere, back last year when we used to go out places and actually have meals in pubs and things, and we would get chicken wings to share, he would eat all of the drums and I would eat all of the flats because I don't like drumsticks and I like the flats. And that's just, I don't know. I feel like that's what you do in a supportive relationship is, hey, I don't like this thing. You like this thing. I'm going to give you the thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure people will eat anything. And I mean that in a does not have the same level of food aversions as I do. Krell, hello. Obbles, my dear. Good evening. Afternoon. Good noon. It's 2:30 for me. A deep psychological offense with cucumbers. You'd have piqued my interest, Jeff. I think they taste like nothing. And again, texture thing. It's the same reason why I don't mind cooked celery, like in a soup or like stuffing or something, but straight up raw celery. Raw celery is just a vessel to put the peanut butter in my face. Like, again, weird texture things. This is why, harkening back to over an hour ago where I was like, I think maybe I wouldn't be surprised if I fell on that spectrum somewhere, because between a lot of texture versions, both food and other sensations, even thinking about saying what I am about to say makes my skin go blah, blah. And it's cotton balls. I can't. The thought of touching a cotton ball with my bare hands, the thought of it is making me uncomfortable, let alone having to touch it. Not only on my skin and stuff, Mr. Keys, but if I have to you go to the drugstore and you get a thing of aspirin and you have to take the cotton ball out of the top of the aspirin, I will do it with tweezers because I don't have to touch it, but even then the sensation of the tweezers and the noise and it, no. Talking about eating cotton balls, no. I don't do that texture. It's just take a big old bite. Stop it. It's actually making me feel physically ill. Those things of I can't. And people are like, cotton balls? Really? And I'm like, no, cotton candy's not okay either. The closest thing, it's, the French word for cotton candy is barbe à papa, which means papa's beard, which is just a great fun fact. Mr. Keys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But yeah, I don't, we can eat all of the Twizzlers we want, and my whole diet is pepperoni, pizza, time rift, yes. And cotton candy, there's a local place, local ice cream place, that gets cotton candy ice cream. Now it's neon pink and neon blue, and it's delicious. And I will eat that, but that's also ice cream texture, not cotton candy texture. I got it right. Sweets. My French is very out of practice. Sweaty cotton candy is troubling. Just. Ugh. Cotton candy is basically candied air. And yeah, Obbles, we got a little sidetracked playing Rocket League, and I scored 1 goal, and then my ability to do anything else just tanked. So we were like, you know what? Let's just chatting. So I pulled up some questions. So if you'd like to answer them, please do. 3 meals for the rest of your life. Catastrophe had a very clever answer to this, which was my 3 meals would be breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I was like, fuck, that's really smart. Do you like your sheets tucked all the way in, or completely loosey-goosey, or fictional characters? Who would you want to be?
Hey, Aaron.
Yeah, you gotta go.
I got my heart out.
Okay.
I want to say thank you for this. This was fun.
This was much needed. I have enjoyed it. I was gonna be like, okay, well, Pierce is gone. We gotta go, but we're gonna do this for at least another
half
an hour.
You can keep going.
Yeah,
I'm just you'll lose your color man, but
my color commentator.
Yeah. First off, I just want to just address the chat just real quick. We've had a lot of really like hard discussion in here today. A lot of things that may be triggering for people. I want to reach out and just say, if you feel safe doing so, both Aaron and myself are open to debriefing or discussing. If you want to further talk about anything that came up today, if you don't feel safe or comfortable talking to either of us, if you have someone you trust in your life, I would really encourage and strongly encourage you to reach out to them. I don't ever want you to feel isolated or hurt. If you have felt isolated or hurt, please reach out to Erin and let her know. It's the only way that we can improve as a community.
Yes.
I really love you all, and I so appreciate everybody coming and taking part in the discussion, and I'm looking forward to doing it again in the future.
Yes, this has been fun. Enjoy.
Okay.
Please tell your little one happy birthday from Auntie Erin.
I will do that.
Have fun. Send me snaps.
All right, bye-bye. Thanks, Erin.
Bye. Question 1, are we supposed to pick a specific pizza? You know what? I will be a generous overlord, and you can just say pizza. Whatever pizza you want for forever. Sheets tucked in or out. So, Carl, when you get into bed, like, let's say you're going to a hotel. Remember when we used to do that? Remember travel? Remember leaving your house? Those were the good old days. And you would go to a hotel, and they would have the sheets, like, tucked in. Like, here's where your pillows are, and then it's tucked in down the sides, and it's tucked in at the end. Do you like your sheets tucked in under the mattress, either on the sides or at the bottom, or do you like a completely loosey-goosey sheet? At the very minimum, I like mine tucked in at the bottom. Sides, especially in the summer, usually are untucked, mainly so that when it's really hot, I can like kick a leg out. Because if I'm too hot, you just stick out your little toesies out the bottom of the sheets, and then you cool down a little bit. But that's what we mean by sheets tucked in or out. Or conversely, top sheet or no top sheet, because I was very much anti-top sheet until the last year. All right, Jeff has chosen Skyline Chili, pizza, and tacos. Oh, those are really good ideas. Hotels seem fake. I remember hearing about them years ago, Obbles, and they just seem like this famed fake place we used to be able to go. I guess I also don't need the overlay in Discord anymore because it's just me, and you know I'm the one chatting, so I can just leave that. But if I'm making the bed, I tuck them because it looks nice, but then I will rip that shit apart to sleep under. Idle has the right idea. I will tuck it in like hospital corners. What's funny is someone for 6 months of their life had them to have like the most pristine made bed with corners tucked that nice, and then now they don't make the bed that way. And yes, this is a call out. Yes, I want you to make the bed that way. Because I don't know how to do the envelope of like you tuck it and you fold it and it looks nice. My mom tried to show me once, but because it was my mom, I didn't listen for multiple reasons. But they help with temporary reasons. You went to hotels in Europe. Where's Europe? I only see my back door. I just look at, I go down the hall, I go into my backyard, I go to work, and I go to the grocery store. Those are the only places I go. So yeah, hospital corners, the like tight, ow, that's where I got the needle, you asshole. Ow, that hurt.
Sorry, I was gonna come sit.
Okay, come sit.
Can I put this down?
Yes, you can put that down. Oh no, you guys are gonna see what's behind curtain number 2. It's a man. Those are the worst. Remember going places? I sure don't. Al from Final Fantasy 6, just so I could give him a hug. Because hospital corners at work, I hated it. That's fair. If you have to do it for work or other reasons like that, and now you hate it, that I understand completely. But as someone who's never had to do that before. This is our computer room, everybody. This is the Nerd Art Wall. For those who are not in the know, this is my betrothed. Watch a TV show and people aren't social distancing, it makes me uncomfortable. I know, right? I don't know how you can plug in and I guess you don't need to hear anything.
There's nothing.
That's true.
secure
Yeah, you don't
over
need to
it right
hear.
now.
No. I am not affianced. It's fine. I just thought it would be funny to say the word betrothed. It's fine. There would be one hell of a post if that actually happened, so it's okay. I saw a really good tweet about that the other day that was like, hey, if you're mad about all these new social distancing guidelines, maybe you're the reason we need them in the first place. Applied it a few times over today's stream. No. You would not find out over Twitch.
She pokes pretty hard sometimes.
Hey. I just... my fingers are naked. No, I would... So, have I told you guys a story about how I found out that my mom was engaged? Because that's a fun story. That's a great story.
It's a one-word story.
Yeah, it's a one-word horror story. Facebook. My mother. Facebook, yes, Obble's Facebook. Points to Obble's. She... now, to be fair, I very much love my mother's wife. I think she is great. She is a very good fit for my mom. They complement each other very well, and she's a very, very nice lady. However, when they got engaged, it had been less than a year that they had been dating, and in that year's time, they had been broken up for like 3 months. So, cumulatively, they got together in like April. I went on vacation in July. When I got home from that 10-day vacation in July, they had broken up. And then flash forward to October of 2018. Yes. They had gotten back together. And then we flash forward to February, Valentine's Day, 2019. They went and played music bingo at a local Irish pub, and my mother proposed. And
I mean, music bingo at that particular Irish pub is pretty fun.
it is fun. I miss going. It was a good time. The host thinks he's cute. She's not wrong. But yeah, and so rather than like, now I'm not saying my mom needed to get my sisters and my consent or permission or like anything, but a heads up. That would have been nice of like, hello, Aaron. I think I'm going to propose to Mary Lee this evening, so you may see something on social media. Not have it be...
Or even just be told before
Yeah.
the post went out.
Even be told before the post went out. But I'm pretty sure my mom went, marry me. She went, yes. They took a selfie. My mom posted it. Like, this is how I think things work. And I was scrolling through Facebook and it was like 10:30 on a Wednesday. And I sent my sisters a Snapchat and was like, fucking what? And so at the time, my youngest sister was living abroad still. And she called me on Facebook and was like, what the fuck is that? And it was... We were all very unhappy. And then at that point, said sister was still living abroad and said, hey, we are moving home in 2020. We would love to be here for your wedding. Could you wait until 2020 to get married? Which, like, maybe a good thing that they didn't, because 2020 is a shit year. And my mom said no. So... I talk about my mom sometimes on stream, and I think you guys are all like, oh, Aaron, you're joking. And then I bring up these stories, and people are like, you're not joking. I am not at all. If we go to Cyrus Pub in the future when things are better, is it going to get better? Is this just life? I coordinate my masks to my outfits now. This is where we are. This is just how things live, but meh. I'm trying to be optimistic. Fair, because I really want to sample your cooking, and I very much want to cook for you, and I want to go to WEFICon, and I want to hug all of you humans who consent to hugs. Because, you know, we all have body autonomy, and you don't have to hug someone if you don't want to. This was something that I wish had been explained to me as a child, but yeah. As we've brought up eating things, addiction things, mental health things, some talks that it's been dark. to reiterate and echo what Pierce said, if you trust myself or him or anyone in this community to talk to about those, if something did get a little too real, by all means, please. As Urza said, I am a good emotional support Canadian, and will be happy to be one. Or if there was something that was either said in jest, or maybe I misrepresented a serious topic or something that's important to you, again, I can't learn and grow and not make that mistake again if people don't tell me. So I really hope I haven't inadvertently caused anything that was sort of triggering or upsetting for people to hear, or that was not funny, like a joke that didn't land. We have very, very bleak senses of humor. Pierce as well. It just comes with the nature of what we do. You kind of need it to survive in a way. I'm sure there's healthier coping mechanisms than making the jokes that we make, but here we are. But yeah, if anything crossed the line or was too much or not appropriate, or you just have something you want to share and you're not comfortable sharing on stream, you can absolutely do so via Discord, DMs, etc. and so on. So just making sure that that is out there too. I didn't mean for this to turn into the hashtag #2RealStream. Here we are. You will hug me. You better. And I agree, Kat. It'll get better. It won't ever be normal again. And I would kind of like if something.
Urza, you would seriously break her.
Don't make me. So welcome to WefiCon 4K because he has no authority in United States jurisdictions. That's true.
I'm really kind of the chillest one out there, I think. At least for the most part.
Cop dad. No?
He's still.
Okay, well maybe.
Straight-laced.
Yeah, I guess. But Uncle Randy? Sorry. I almost called Pierce Bleak House. Maybe Dickens is a bridge too far. I guess I also could probably. I don't really need the music. I don't need these, but I have the music. But I don't really need these on, but now it just feels like I'm talking to an empty room. At least with music, it feels like I'm still streaming. This just feels like I'm just talking to my computer screen, which I do frequently anyway, but.
Actually, yes. I would be dealing with it at least all night.
Little break. Oh yeah, how will I hear text-to-speech?
Yeah.
Can we?
Change the output.
Ta-da! Can you guys hear that?
Probably.
Oh, no, okay. So now we have to then settings, properties. Can you hear now? Oh, sweet. I don't think you're hearing it over the microphone. Yay! Now I can hear text-to-speech. I forgot that I just can switch the input because I'm a very professional streamer. Before you could only hear through mic. It is louder now. Okay, I'll turn it down. How's that? How's that for levels? Jeff, wait, before you go, what kind of sandwich? I need to know. Inquiring minds. Can't hear it now. Okay, too quiet. Now it's gone. Too quiet. Now I gotta mute. Yeah, you do. Sorry. My bad. Turkey, ham, provolone, American lettuce, oregano, and bacon grilled. I want a sandwich now.
Okay, you said American lettuce. You didn't put an and in there. I was very confused for a second.
We only have American lettuce in this household. This is good. Okay, we will leave it as this.
Now it's too medium.
Get broke lol.
Get broke lol. Urza. So far, you have donated $55 and 1 penny today. Stop it. Stop it. American lettuce is just recalled lettuce from a bag. Stop it. You haven't answered these questions. What 3 meals?
Well, I answered at least sort of.
Well, you said
Sushi.
donuts.
Always sushi.
Okay.
No.
What kind of sushi?
Just sushi in general, because then it's like I can pretty much eat whatever
Now
I
I
want.
have to round it out differently, damn it.
Urza! Thank you for the $55.55 today. Stop it. I'm gonna cry.
Sheets tucked in at the bottom.
Yeah.
Just the bottom.
Yes.
Otherwise, I feel trapped. And the bottom because I don't want my feet somehow hanging out or someone reaching up from the bottom to grab my feet because that's a real thing.
It is. That's how the monsters get you.
Absolutely.
If we do that. That should be better.
And
'Kay.
fictional character I wish I could meet.
The Traveler.
No, I was gonna say something kind of sassy.
A good man. A good cop.
I mean, I was gonna say Jesus, but
Oh, okay. That's fair. Cade. Cade's a good answer. I would hang out with Cade. He seems like fun. I would hang out with Nathan Fillion. I would climb Nathan Fillion like a tree. Sorry.
why are you sort of? I would probably
Fictional character
Nathan
from-
Fillion. Yes.
He could get it. Because you can just shove anything inside rice and claim it's sushi. This is true. There is only one sushi roll that I like because I don't like fish, which is a problem.
Which is a shame. A very serious shame.
But I like, and I don't know if anywhere else has it. They call it a crazy boy roll. So it's imitation crab, mayo, avocado, cucumber?
I think so.
Cucumber. So I don't like cucumbers, but I like it in this application. And then
It's like
nori.
the tiniest little piece.
Yeah, nori, rice, tempura batter, deep fried, sliced, smothered in like this sweet chili spicy sauce thing. It's so good, and it is the only sushi that I enjoy because it mostly tastes like tempura batter. It's so good. I don't know, like North American sushi and traditional like actual sushi that you get in Japan
Are totally
totally different. Idol Q could definitely school us on this. A friend of mine since high school, she's lived in Japan since we graduated in 2006. Then she has a whole food blog, or a whole food Instagram, and a blog that she just started up. And she posts all of the amazing food that she and her boyfriend eat. And I'm like, I really want to go to Japan.
Yeah, Japan's on the list.
Japan's on the list. There's another good question. If once life resumes and flights can happen and borders are open and we're not all, slowly dying
And most of you are not banned
from
most
our
countries.
country, where could you go? Or if you've already gone to that place, where was it? Like, where is your bucket list? Like, I need to go to this place. I want to go everywhere. Left, narrow it down. You can't be where the people are right now. Neo sushi. That just sounds like sushi that Keanu Reeves eats.
Yeah, I just watched that the other day. So.
Japan and ride the trains. A lot of Japan. I want Japan for a number of reasons. One, I would like to go see my friend, because it's been a few years since I've been able to meet up with her when she's come for visits home. And then food, tons of food. I want to go see Mount Fuji. I want to go to the Pokemon Center, and I want to do all of the I want to go shop. I want to bring home Japanese consoles and add them to the shelf that's back there and all of that stuff. Let's see. So we've got Japan, Tangiers. Ooh, redacted. Tell me more about that. Or Germany. Germany would be cool. I would love to go to one of the Scandinavian countries.
The river cruise down the Rhine.
Yep. So I'm gonna travel when this is over. Spending it on PC parts. Time Rift, also that. And then you can travel wherever you want, just digitally. Let's see. Germany, France, Austria for musical reasons. China and Japan for Mr. Keys. Yeah, we want to go to Japan for nerd shit. Iceland.
Okay, nerd shit and history stuff though.
Yes.
I want to go see temples and the old stuff.
Yes, I want to go
Get out of the
see
city.
Buddhist temples. I want to see all the cool modern stuff in Tokyo and Kyoto and places like that. But then I want to go and experience some of the things you can in the countryside. And so, again, my friend, I will. I should link her stuff somewhere because she posts hey, this is the prefecture I live in. This is the city I live in, and these are the cool things that you can do. And she's worked with tours in Canada and tours in Japan of hey, if you don't speak a word of Japanese, you can go here, and this is the experience that you will have. And if you do speak Japanese, even better. So let's see. Iceland, Finland. And Mirage. I'm just gonna go with Mirage because I'm not sure how you say the first part of your name. Finland would be cool. Anywhere Scandinavian would be interesting. Tangier, Morocco for the art, food, and culture. Germany because you were born there. Oh, my best friend was born in Baden-Baden in Germany on a Canadian Air Force base, but still. Germany would be neat. I would love to go to places with, like, history. Everywhere has history. That doesn't make sense. There's places I want to go in England. I want to see where my grandparents were evacuated to during the war. Oh, you were born in Baden-Baden too? That's fucking hilarious. Redacted. I need to text her right now and be like, I met someone on the internet who's also from the same place in Germany. Peru would be cool. I used to want to go to, like, tropical beaches and just, like, sit on the beach and drink Mai Tais. I can't have Mai Tais because coconut.
Mojitos. And margaritas.
But yeah, North America is minuscule in terms of some of the historical things I find interesting about going to, like, Eastern Europe and England and those sorts of areas. But North America and Canada's part of North America. Aaron. This continent also has people that were here way before us. Whiteys showed up, and learning more about Canadian Indigenous peoples, is also important and something that I want to do. I've always wanted to either fly to the East Coast and drive back, or drive to the East Coast and fly home and take the Trans-Canada and stop at all of the weird little roadside things that you can find in, like, little podunk towns, like the world's biggest kielbasa sausage, or Vulcan, Alberta, or
The world's biggest hockey stick.
the world's biggest hockey stick. Like those sorts of weird things. I just want to go on a road trip. Yep, we'll go hang out with Rock. We'll pick up Rock Band Man on the way. We'll stop in the city that rhymes with fun. We'll dip into, like, Minnesota and Wisconsin and pick up Urza. I mean, if we're going that far, we might as well go down and get Jeff and Satellite too, and then loop back up around the Great Lakes, and then we'll all wind up in Halifax and have fish and chips or lobster. Lobster? Probably lobster. Yeah. Well, you guys will have lobster. I'll just have. Come pick me up on the way. And Mr. Keys, he can teach us all some French because mine is bad. Not picking this up. Well, we would have to. I mean. Okay, what I'm gonna do is Jeff and Sad are like 10 hours from me. Yeah, road trip. What part of this do you not understand? If we're already driving across Canada, what's a 10-hour detour to go get Jeff and Satellite? But we have to go down to Oregon first, and then over, then up to get Rock Band Man, then down to get you and Jeff and Satellite, then around the Great Lakes, then we stop and get Mr. Keys, and then we keep going. But
if we're picking you up, you have to stand on the side of the road with your thumb out like a hitchhiker.
Yes, and one of your thighs exposed. Halifax or drive along with you? Nice. See, all right, we're doing it. WefyCon is at Jeff's house, and I'm gonna buy a bus, and we're gonna have AaronCon hits the road. Something. I don't know. I was trying to make a dick joke, and I don't know why I wanted to make it into a dick joke. It's in our car, a potty bus. Any bus with me on it, Kat, is a party bus. Because I'm fun. Remember when those were a thing? Remember when we could see people? Remember? It's me. I'm the dick joke. AaronCon is what happens on the way to WefyCon. We just all show up caravan style with the Venga bus playing loudly, and Jeff's like looking out the curtains. Look at that, and we just all hop out and like, the Venga bus is coming. Except we rework it to be the Aaron bus.
So, but you have to stop, like, just out of sight, like, a kilometer or two away. Everybody piles into the smallest vehicle possible and clown car when you get there.
A Fiat 500 or a smart car. We'll just all squish in a Cooper Mini. Also,
it is possible to put 20 people, I mean young people, but 20 people in a Honda Civic hatchback, so I think we can do it. Yes, 20 people. We counted.
No, I'm 6'2", so no. I am under 6 feet, so I will just squish into the trunk. 6'5", so no, there's some beautiful tall humans. I like tall humans.
I don't look up very often. I mean, I'm not actually tall, but I don't look very often. Everybody must be short here.
I mean, in my family, yes. Other than Chris. He's
The
6'7".
monster.
How tall? Chris is. I have a cousin who is very tall. Like his parents are tall people. His mom's probably 5'11" or 6. She is 5'11".
Yeah.
She's taller than you.
Usually about the same size. They just mean
Maybe I'm picturing her with shoes on. But anyway. She's tall. Dennis has got to be 6'2", 6'3", at least. And their youngest son is like 6'7". He's huge. It's like, hi cousin, how's it going? He's very, very big. If I ever feel short, just visit Holly. That's what I'm like. I keep you my little pocket-sized friend. Not too many people are shorter than me. It's kind of nice. I've broken Aaron enough. No. You're making me nervous.
Just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Not as big, but still up. Rocket Man, you have a question for me. What's up, homie? My favorite little brother. I recall saying that and someone was like, really? I was like, no, but also yes. But no. I'm way shorter. 5'11". 5'11" is still tall to me, but anyone who's taller than me is taller because I'm like, yeah, 5'5" on a good day. I was sad when I grew taller than 5'3" because I was a horse girl and I wanted to be a jockey. Can we have a horse?
No.
Please?
No, we cannot.
Can we have a pony?
No.
But I want a pony! What's your question, Rockman Man? What's happening? What's going on? What are the things that we are questioning? Jockeys are tiny. They have to be.
300 centimeters tall.
That's 3 meters. I feel like that's very, very big. Because what did we decide?
That's 10 feet.
Okay. If I had a
300
meme
centimeters
song,
is
I had a
10
1
feet,
hour
so yeah.
Said song for your illusion. I had a meme song that had a 1 hour long chart in Clone Hero. You get a community challenge to play it. So you want to subject your stream to that. The thumbnail. I feel like Rockwood Man is 6'1". He's either 6'1" or like the same height as me, 5'5", 5'6". Although I was also the one who thought Rockwood Man was a young Asian boy for a very long time. Really, I don't know why, I had it in my head that Rockman Man was a 14-year-old Asian child.
I mean, if we meet you, it will no longer be a mystery.
When it's safe, we're coming to the city that rhymes with fun. Or you can come to BC and see what a mountain looks like. Shots fired. Oh crap, that was the wrong button.
I mean, they kind of have valleys.
There we go. He does when he can in a mountain. I walk on stones. What's a town called Hot Dog Bun? Yes. Oh no, I want hot dogs. What are we doing for dinner? Alright, I'm making stew. Oh, left. We should have let the cheesecake sit overnight because it was like just a little soft and warm in the middle because of the chocolate that we put on top. But like, oh, it was so good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm used to it having to be in front of my face. You guys can hear him. Those bounces of Wilco, they are statues. It didn't blorp. I know what you mean by blorp. But it was a little soft towards the center. Because that's what happens when you dump like warm chocolate ganache. Oh fuck, it was really fucking good. And
It's really, really rich.
I don't know why I am disappointed. But I am. No, not disappointed. I am expected. And I don't know, I figured you guys could hear him just fine. I don't know how well this...
I speak quietly though anyways.
I mean, I can just... It's all about me and you just get to be an afterthought. See, See, and the downside of not having the
That
headphones in.
feels too real.
Sorry, dear. All right. Well, I have discovered that my second ever Just Chatting stream is a rousing success. So based on this, definitely gonna do more of these. I just don't know. I need some topics because I think we exhausted the like. We're gonna talk about trauma today, kids. Let's not. Well, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but.
Urza, what are you taking out of context, other than everything?
Was rousing. I'm always with the word twisting, but you're allowed to do that. You generous son of a bitch. But it delved into the Just Chatting area when it was like, you know what? I'm just having more fun talking. Because Rocket League is always a background just for Pierce and I to talk anyhow. So why don't we just dispense with the Rocket League? I'm bad at it. I think there was 3 or 4 games where I didn't get any points, any experience points to level up. So something to make an emote of. Llama is very, very talented. It's the little drool and the like glazed over like it's perfect.
I was gonna say the eyes, but there's only one eye. But
the other one's covered by a bra.
It's so perfect.
Llama is working on my bits and donation one next, which is going to involve Jigglypuff popping out of a pile of money and swimming around like Scrooge McDuck. It's going to be great.
Diving into or popping out of?
I think she's diving into it because she pops out of the maple leaves for subs, I think.
Tempest, you should send me...
Where'd you get Tempest? Tempest isn't here.
No, I think it was just a Steam notification.
Oh, it was probably a Steam notification, however. Redacted would like to meet Hannibal Lecter. For dinner? Aha! I hate that I need to bring this closer to this. It's been both to me, for me, IRL, and silly, and I've loved every minute of it. Except for that 1 minute, you know which one. So this means I'll donate more. Stop it, I swear to God. Was the meat Freudian? I didn't even notice he had meat. Tempest has dieted. I asked him about the song and it dieted him. Okay, is this gonna get me DMCA'd?
Probably.
Title is self-explanatory.
It's a really bad idea, but I'm already here, so here we fucking go. Rawr. Extra noses pounces on you, ooh, you're so warm. Couldn't help but notice your bolts from across the floor. Noses your Nicky Wicky till day Matilda, hee hee. Unzips your baggiest pants, oh baby, you so musky. Take me home, pet me and make me yours, and don't forget to stuff me. See me like my widow, baby, tail off for your bulgy. Kisses and lickies your neck. I hope daddy likey, suzzles and wuzzles your chest. I be getting thirsty. Hey, I got a little itch. You think you can help me? Only 7 inches long. Ooh, please adopt me. Cause I know about cause I lick my lips. Ooh, punish me, please. Gotta hit him with this furry shit. He don't see it coming.
I just heard the delay through your own speakers. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, where did it go? There it is. We'll get that back.
Oh my God.
Nymphy! This is what you came into. You came in at the worst / best part. And it's an hour-long version in Clone Hero. I will give all of my channel points for that to happen. Yes. NYMPHY. There we go. What are you? What?
I don't know.
You're just getting in my way?
I was just
Fair.
being a troll.
It's
I'm the real life troll.
You are.
She can't block me.
Fuck around and find out. What I was going to... Sorry, I had a very weird random email pop up in the corner of my screen that confused me. I was going to say, Nymphy, I love the fact that your GTA RP character's name is Saoirse. and it's spelt properly, and I always wonder how many times you have to explain to people how to pronounce that name, because it's, if I ever had kids, one of them would be named Saoirse. I love traditional, like, Irish, Gaelic, Welsh names. It sounds so pretty. It's a meme. Just have a button to be like, Saoirse! Like, just to explain to people how to pronounce it. You did a rock on super, they need to unsub and unfollow before it happens. It's also canon because she knows Gaelic. Nice. Gaelic is a beautiful language, and it is. My sister learned,
Wrangle dinner? Please tell me, what are you having, Ursa?
What are you wrangling?
What do you have to wrangle?
Traditional Irish names are great. Now Tempest is here. Now you can say Tempest. We summoned you earlier, Tempest, and it works. Irish Gaelic is different from Scottish Gaelic. Agreed. Irish and Scottish, two very different accents. There you go, Tempest.
I just saw a notification that said Destiny, and
You got excited.
anyone who plays Destiny should add me and be my friend.
Good night, Urza. Thank you for breaking me. You suck, you're my favorite, I love you. Oh, no, okay. See, and this is where I struggle, is I know how to say Saoirse, and I know how to say names like Fenway and stuff like that, but, yeah, I almost want to say Alfie, but I don't think. Aoife, right. It took me a sec. I was working through it in my head of like, okay, when you put these together in English, it's this sound. When you put them together in this language, it's this. So, which basically you don't pronounce. You move the I to in front of the F and the A where the E is, and then you get rid of the other letters, and then it makes sense. But yeah, whenever I would do D&D,
I have no clue. This is so far beyond my abilities. Like,
yeah, I don't.
Not a chance.
Yeah, if you move the A here, and like the E and I, and get rid of the O. It's the O that throws you off, because you want to go like Aofi, and it's like, yeah. Remember, AOI is an E sound, and you're fine. Language is crazy, and language is cool. I agree. I believe, it's a slightly old fact, but there was one that the QI elves shared on the QI Twitter account, that there are more people learning how to speak Irish on Duolingo than there were actual native Irish speakers in the world. And that's a good point. I should have known how to say that because of Saoirse. I had a client who named their child Saoirse, and they didn't spell it that way. They spelled it wrong. They spelled it phonetically, which at least then they're not going to have to explain how to pronounce it. My dog's name was Kaylee. You spelled it like that. And the vet was always like, Celiad is ready for pickup. And we're like, it's pronounced Kaylee. And Kaylee is one of those names that there's 8,000 different ways to spell, just like Caitlin or Ashley. The name, like Saoirse Ronan says her name. I don't know if I've ever actually. Do I know what Saoirse Ronan sounds like? I know who she is, and I know what she looks like. It's like Keanu would say. Whoa. It's almost like England really fucked over Ireland and still has a fucking colony there. So, yeah, there's a diff. My family is a mishmash of the British Isles, and one half hates the other half. It's interesting. That's how it's spelled. You know, like Sean and Siobhan. Exactly. It's almost like English people and colonialism and imperialism was a bad idea. Was it? I'm also gonna move these so the text isn't over things. We're gonna pause. Wait, am I gonna get... I'm so nervous about playing things that isn't something like pretzel or something that I'm for sure not gonna get DMCA'd for, because seriously, I has concerns. It's almost like English people was a bad idea. Am I wrong?
I don't think anybody's gonna.
I don't think people are going to
That's that one.
disagree that humans were a terrible idea. We should have just all stayed in the Garden of it. No, that's trying to delve it away from the too real conversation we were having earlier and bringing up religion after we've talked about other content warning-y things.
Oh, but religion's such an easy one.
We're leaving it alone. We will have that as a specific topic on another day. Right now, we're just trying to have fun, damn it. We're waiting for American people, so I guess you win on the technicality. See? We've offended Miss Nymph. We can't do that. The Textorcist. How fast can you type? Type out exorcism while dodging bullets and demons. Grab it for free now. You know what, Epic Store? I just might. Because that sounds kind of like Typing of the Dead, which Pierce and I didn't get to play this year. Which I should ask him if he wants to play one day. It just popped up in the corner because I had the Epic Store open because we were playing Rocket League on Epic, and it was called the Textorcist. Let's look at this. This game is, yeah, 18 plus, whatever. It's normally $16.99. It's currently free. Oh, and it's all pixelated. Yeah, we're getting it.
Hanging out.
Just hanging
and
out.
Chatting.
It's very weird that I still have to. Yeah, fine, whatever. We started maybe with Rocket League, and my friend Pierce and I were playing that, and Rocket League is always a backdrop for like us just talking, and like usually about real world things and politics and all sorts of stuff. And we weren't doing so great in the Rocket League because I'm not good at it, and he is. I scored 1 goal, it got clipped, and that's all that ever needed. That's all I needed. I got my 1 goal, and then we were like, you know what? Let's just quickly throw together a layout for a Just Chatting stream, and then we've just been just chatting. I tried to find some topics that we could talk about. There's been some very fun answers about people's meals. We've talked about when, if we're ever allowed to travel internationally again, where would you go? What would you do? Or if you've already been to your bucket list place, where was it and why? Silky! Good evening. Ah, of course you were playing Phasmophobia. Good choice. We need to find a day that works for us to play it, because seriously. Pixels are good. I feel like a big deal. Ma'am, you are a fantastic deal. Not just a big one, but a great one. It was a good backdrop for Just Chatting Rockman Man. The alert. Klaxon alarm went off on your phone while you were sleeping.
Like one of the government alerts that go out to everybody on your phone.
Scream like the pit. Me too. I'm so jumpy, and I think that's why people like watching me play it, is if you can make me jump out of my skin, it's funny.
That's kind of crazy.
That's scary that it's gotten that bad. There's like 6 people that live in Alaska. Just stand far apart when you go eat moose or something. I don't know. You could say that about Canadians as well. I got nothing. Any jokes you make about Canada can just apply to Alaska. Any jokes you can make about Alberta.
They have way more guns.
That's true. Ooh, yes, I do want to see a good clip. Please post it. But yeah. And it's close to the end of the month with online starting on Monday. I mean, Alaska and Alberta, they both start with A. Have you ever seen them in the same room? I'm just saying. There's nothing there to make jokes about. No, that's Saskatchewan. Alright, let's watch this. Okay, we're gonna pause this. Please don't DMCA me for playing your clip. Here, we're gonna start it back.
that was pretty much you the first time.
Yep, that was me the first time. That was the look of pure was me playing Pacify. That game was terrifying. We all know each other even though we're far away. That's also true. Like my friend Bob in Tirana. Very good DMCA. Saskatchewan has Rockwood, man. It's true. 97 cases per 100,000 people right now, which is a lot when there's only 70. Yeah, okay, that is a lot. And again, trying to find a defense for living in Alberta. I have none. I'm trying to move, but I can't come to BC. It's the best province. Yeah, Rockwoodman's got a point. If you live in like Elkwater or Moose Jaw, your rent's probably not too bad. But come to BC and pay double the rent. Yeah, and have mountains and better weed.
I mean, it's government weed now.
It's good. It's the good-ish. You know, and double the gas. Yeah, what does gas cost for you right now, Rockman Man? Because right now it's $6.9, and through most of COVID, it dropped to almost 70 cents.
Remember, people, that's per liter.
Per liter,
so like
not gallon.
roughly times it by 4.
Yeah. Yeah, it's $1.06 right now, and it pretty much stayed at $1.13, $1.11 through most of COVID. So they pay to live in Alberta, much like Alaska. They will pay you to live in the Yukon and the Northwest Territories and Nunavut.
I mean, yeah, it is also Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
Which are, what, 75 cents of an American dollar right now?
Okay, Google. What's the Canadian to US exchange rate? $0.76 is what the Canadian dollar is worth right now. Yeah, so music is louder. I can fix that. I can do this, and then I can do this. That should be better. What I did was I touched things after you guys told me that the audio levels were good. See, and this is the thing. I took the headphones off. Because I didn't need the headphones anymore. And then everything got all fakakta, so. Yeah,
She
gas
just
is...
wanted to show off her ears, that's all.
Yeah. Because you guys never get to see all of it. Well, I mean, you can't really see all of them from this angle anyway, but... Out of context, the Canadian dollars were 76 sounds like an extreme indictment of the Canadian economy. I mean, the problem is we funnel all of our gas south anyway.
Or really cheap because we don't refine it first.
Yes. So, but then we're going to have the refinery in Kitimat, so then we can refine the oil we get from overseas instead of refining our own. Oh no, wait, that's what the pipeline's for. Oil and gas industry. Am I right? We should really be using solar and wind, but here we are. I think they're cute ears. Yes. I want my lobes to be bigger, but I can't because they were pierced funny. So one of these ears, I got... Kids, don't go get any piercings done with a piercing gun. It's a terrible idea and it causes blunt force trauma, and they're just bad. But this one, when I was in the 5th grade, instead of going through lobe like this, the gun was at a slight angle. And so now the bottom of my lobe is thin, so I can't stretch it any more than what it's already stretched to, or my ears will rip. And we don't want that. Montana refines it? Really?
Well, you probably do have huge refineries, but are they refining Canadian oil or not?
Yeah. Are they refining oil that we take out of the ground in Alberta in the oil sands? Probably not. And yes, Mr. Keys is from New Brunswick.
Apparently they are.
I just wish we would focus on renewable sources of energy and faster. However,
Nuclear. Just be done with
say
it.
nuclear. That really scares me. I know it's a big bone of contention around where we live right now, Nymphy, because they're putting in a pipeline and there's a lot of protests about the pipeline. There's a pipeline that's getting replaced and then another one that's going in, and the big argument, because we can get back into real topics, is that this is Indigenous land, and there are some Indigenous people that are standing up for the land and saying, as the caretakers of Turtle Island, no, we aren't letting you do this, and there are other bands and places saying like, hey, we have an agreement of mutual whatever where it's going to benefit the company and it's going to benefit our members, and we are okay with the environmental impact. And so there's a lot of back and forth, and it's that is the like Cliff's Notes version of it. It's very complicated. I would rather see pipelines not exist and have no reliance on the oil and gas industry, and to clean, renewable sources of energy. And I think to a point you have, it's hard.
I think some of the difference, Nymphy, is that in BC where we are, there's not like all the land, the entire province is Indigenous territory.
Yeah. All
So-
of this is unceded Indigenous territory that we live on.
It's a really weird kind of thing that I think the country's still trying to sort out and deal with in a half decent way.
Yeah. It's,
And for nuclear, especially with some of the new tech that's coming out regarding it.
I don't know enough about, a lot of details. I know enough to know that I'm in support of things like wind and solar and other things, but not enough to know like every single in and out and what it looks like in terms of pollution and other things. And I at least like that. Again, another inadvertent hot button topic that I just keep finding these today, that at least we can all have said discourse in a friendly manner. So I'm a reminder of we are all welcome to have opinions. They can be different, and different opinions are a good thing, but just keeping things respectable and not just calling someone a twat because they support X, Y, and Z and you don't support X, Y, and Z. So just as a reminder. I agree.
Unless you're Nazi.
Unless you're a Nazi. Then, as we've established, Nazi punks and TERFs can fuck off. Everyone else is welcome. I like what Redacted said about diversifying the energy sector. Being reliant on one as a complete answer doesn't make the most sense. I agree, having a bunch of different options and more things to choose from, and just more so that we're not stuck where we are right now with the total reliance on things like oil and gas. I agree. Take the Arizona desert, put a square mile surface of solar panels, and you get enough energy for the US annual consumption twice.
Yeah,
Really?
pretty much. Yes.
I mean, we live in if we were allowed, because where we live is a townhouse complex and we have a strata, we would have solar panels on our roof. But no, all the houses have to look the same. So when
Well, it's not just our roof, because there's
Yeah, I know.
3 other.
we have neighbors, so it's one big shared roof, and they wouldn't let us do it, which is a bummer. But I saw someone mention, I think it was Rockman Man jokingly saying like, just get a Tesla forehead. And we talked earlier about
Can
how
we please?
I talked earlier about how sometimes I struggle with like, Ubisoft games look cool and Activision Blizzard games look cool and EA games look cool, but like, here's a laundry list of things that are shitty about them. The same struggle with Tesla, because I kind of think Elon Musk is a piece of shit. Sorry, I know you think he's cool. He's said and done some things.
He's a genius.
That
but
doesn't
he
excuse him being a
definitely
shit.
has some issues.
A lot of issues. So that's one of those like, I want a Tesla because those are the best option for those things. But you're also a shit. But if I buy one, does it really go straight into spot? I don't know. We're not going to go over this topic again because it's just ad nauseum. No, if your opinion is different, mine, it's wrong. Only about pineapples and mushrooms, we've been over this. Easier for solar panels? That is good. And I definitely agree, like, getting off of gas, it is a finite resource. Like, at the end of the day, it needs to get sorted out because it will run out, and then what do we do? And yes, the upfront cost, like Rockerman said, is the startup cost for setting up solar or wind or other things is pretty high. But then once you have it, then, you know, it makes some changes. Like, I remember I just caught Rockerman comparing Elon Musk to being the figurehead for Tesla, like the queen, in a way that I can like 100% understand that
It's probably
explanation.
very true.
But like, I had a thought and I lost it because I got distracted by Rock Band Man's excellent point. But renewable resource without fast food. Well, and I know there's like corn-based and ethanol and things, and it's stuff that I'm like, I should look into and feel like I should know more. But there's only so many hours in the day and only so much stuff that I want to invest my fun times in. Pin says, as a former Arizona resident, it's a mixed fight for solar panels. Electrical companies were able to, in Maricopa, to get rules that limit how much energy a solar home would get paid for putting electricity back into the grid.
Yeah, and there's a whole thing with solar and like being self-sustainable. And that's one of the reasons I like the whole battery, Tesla's Powerwall or whoever else is coming up with them, that you put in your house, and you charge up your battery, and then when electricity prices are high, you use it.
Yeah.
You use it off the battery, and then I don't know.
Yeah.
If you can get yourself self-sufficient and just lower your utility costs,
Yeah.
that's great.
And Mr. Key says a good point. They use lithium batteries. Lithium is also a limited resource to make a green car. But they look cool, and their door handles are all like flush to the side until you get closer, and then they pop out.
And
Gull-wing doors.
Battery tech is always changing. I mean, lithium ion are the best we have right now.
I just want a car
Until
with
we have
gull-wing
something
doors.
else.
I just want doors that do that.
Okay, we're getting a DeLorean.
No. I want that Tesla that we saw at the pumpkin patch. That was matte red and black. It was so pretty, you guys. But the interior was white leather. I was like, no, that's not happening. You know what's funny? We were talking about this earlier, but not with like energy consumption and that sort of stuff about carbon footprint, Rockman Man, but we were talking about with food waste and how grocery stores and other big companies have individuals. It was an old lady, Nymphy. She was like 70 something, so but like grocery stores and restaurants, maybe not so much restaurants, but definitely grocery stores, are one of the biggest providers of food waste in the country. And they have there's Depends, antenna. But like grocery stores have you convinced that if you waste food or you throw something out because it's past its due date, or you bought it and you didn't eat it, that you are the reason that we have greenhouse emissions and blah 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 blah, where really it's all of these big fucking corporations that do it. And so whilst a lot of companies that provide food that won't let us take expired food and just like eat it, they'll take, yeah, exactly, like there's do you have Cobb's? You would have Cobb's in Saskatchewan, I think. Cobb's,
The best bread store.
yes, Canada's own bread store. They are partnered up, at least our one is, with local, like the Salvation Army and the local mission and places like that will then take the day's leftover bread and use it in meals for the community. But a lot of places, like when I worked at McDonald's, if this burger, like if the timer expired and it went in the trash. Like it was crazy. And like that you're supposed to be like mindful of how much you're making at a time, but maybe it's a West Coast thing. It's very, very, very good bread. And you are a smartass.
Pins, yeah, it's definitely about liability, because everybody's so afraid of liability and nobody wants to take anything for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
If it's past its date and you can't sell it,
then they tried to sue the store. Yeah, so like it's a litigious. Well, and maybe that's more of.
It's going to go in the garbage, but instead of going in the garbage, we're going to divert it to a homeless shelter. Yeah. And, they can make the decision there if they want to use it or not.
Mr. Keys, that is why I buy Superstore no-name stuff, because they have the, like, you can get the, like, pound bag of avocados that are, like, not the perfectly shaped ones. That still tastes just fine, and yes, sometimes you get one that's, like, 79% pit, but they're cheaper to buy that bag because they look a little funky. Or they do the same thing with potatoes, where they call them, like, the naturally imperfect potatoes, which is really just my stripper name. But thank you, dear. Thank you for humoring me. Like, if it tastes fine, who cares if it looks a little funky? But that's part of the, like, propaganda machine from big grocery store that they don't want you to talk about, with conspiracy theories and other things. But I
Which
do
is really, really dumb because they're just throwing out profits.
That's what he said. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm gonna take said ingredient and transform it anyway. Like, you could have a weird shaped or looking potato. You're probably gonna mash it or turn it into fry. Like, you are going to alter the state of the potato in some ways so that it doesn't look like the potato when it first showed up at your house. So, I don't know. Food presentation on the plate is different from like what my ingredients look like. That's the way I look at it. I'm like, I don't care if this potato was kind of ugly looking. It's still gonna taste delicious. And Left has a point. You then boil it, mash it, and you stick it in a stew. And then you have second breakfast and 11 sis. Ooh, I'm making
No,
stew for dinner.
that's from a movie. I just can't remember which one. It's there.
I'm removing his nerd card and I'm kicking him out. I'm embarrassed. Someone come get they's man, because this is not my man's. This is Lord of the Rings. When they're hungry and they're talking about
Sam.
potato.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
there you go. Isn't Big Grocery, though. It's white protocols that the Karens refusing to buy anything less than perfect. Also agreed. Fuck food presentation on the plate. It's all go to my mouth. Who cares? I would love to see Rock Band Man and Iron Chef Canada, and it's just like a mess. And the judges are like, well, presentation wise, he just comes out with fuck food presentation. And fuck you, Chairman Kai. I don't know. I don't even know if there was an Iron Chef Canada. Anything that tries to be like TV show Canada never really is good. Canadian Idol, The Bachelor Canada. Wasn't there a Survivor that took place in Canada? What just tastes is precious. As long as it tastes good, who gives a fuck? Exactly. Like, if it tastes good, I don't know. American Idol, like, with any reality show that's been on for decades and seasons, first few really good, and then after that, it just becomes bleh. Like, as much as I love Drag Race, Drag Race has become formulaic and predictable, and I'm kind of over it. I just follow along on Instagram so I can see the looks, but I don't watch the show anymore.
I don't even think Cruel and Unusual covers it.
Imagine
like,
Survivor, but you're just in
the Badlands of Alberta.
I mean, we're all focused on Alberta, but can we take a moment to ponder Manitoba? Can you imagine Survivor the PA?
I know people in the PA.
They probably suck, I'm sorry. How can I find love in Long Johns? Certain Long Johns can be. I literally can't even imagine Manitoba. Look at these references. It's savage. So, you just don't want to go to the PA. But you just don't want to go there. Do you remember Wexit? Yeah. So it's is how you say it. That was Alberta. That's true. Fuck Alberta. Half of my family lives in Alberta, and I'm very comfortable in saying Alberta can get fucked.
I mean, the mall is kind of nice.
West Edmonton Mall is pretty cool. We did some good shopping there. And Uncle Fred still lives there. And
the most
Paul and
classic
Graham.
of uncles.
Yeah, and my Uncle
Fred.
Fuck too, I live here for now, so. Hey, answer. Dayton Albertan, she was damn fine. I feel attacked and vindicated at the same time. How did I stretch my ears? So I started an area of expertise that I can talk about because I wanted to be a body piercer. I started stretching my ears in the 9th grade. So like I said, I got first holes and second holes pierced in the 5th grade and 7th grade, respectively, with guns. And then I actually think this cartilage piercing that's down here, I also got pierced with a gun. And then after that, I discovered, it hurt. It hurt so bad. And then after that, I discovered the local piercing place, that uses like proper piercing techniques and not things like that. Because I went to a hairdresser. Don't go to a hairdresser to get your ears pierced. But
Claire's.
yeah, don't go to Claire's to get your ears done. That's a bad idea. So I started stretching these with initially these were at an 18 gauge, I think. And so I bought 16 gauge hoops and then 14 gauge hoops, and just sort of lubed them up with polysporin and put them through. Not the best idea. You really should take it gradually and slowly. Backspacer's got some he will show. And then I discovered tapers. And so tapers, as the name suggests, they start off quite skinny and then they widen as they go, and then you just slowly push them through every day. I would not recommend using polysporin. I would use jojoba oil and lube it up, take it gradually and slowly. God damn it, Rockman. So yeah, this is his collection of things. But yeah, if you get tapers, and then the way I would do it, Nymphy, when I started doing it is
It's hard to see on the camera.
what size is that? That's the size of mine. That's 00?
Probably. I don't know. So
Yeah, there you go. So I would push until there was resistance in my lobe and then just sort of leave them there. So while I was going through the process in high school using tapers, they would be sort of like sticking out from the front and back of my ear. So be careful to not catch things on it. But that's how I did mine. I'm up to a 00, or 10 millimeters in diameter. And then after 00, they start to get measured in like inches diameter, I believe. First left ear not able to pull it off. Everyone can pull off certain piercings.
I mean,
Up to 2 inches in his ears. Nice. See, I wanted to be a piercer. I wanted to get into body modification so bad. I discovered BMEzine online when I was 14 and was like, I didn't even know you could do that, and was like so fascinated by it, and I really wanted to go into that. But now I work in law enforcement. But the nice thing about my job is I don't have to take my septum ring out. I don't have to take my nose rings out. The only piercing I've ever taken out is my eyebrow ring, and I took that out 6 years ago, I think is when I took it out. But
yeah, lucky to keep your piercings. Meanwhile, I show up to sign the paperwork to say I'm going to go to training for my job, and get yelled at and told I better take those piercings out of my face now before the boss shows up and just throws me out.
Yep.
So, yay.
Well, they're not really relaxing the rules on those though.
No, but I mean,
But you can have a beard now, as long as you have a shave.
I can wear my earrings too, but yeah.
Removed due to MRIs. Pierce your elf ears. So there's a lot of mods that I would get if they didn't come with the extreme pain to get them, a la actually getting your ears pointed. Because there are
Don't
artists.
do it to your dogs, but we will do it
Yes.
to ourselves.
Yes, don't dock your dog's ears and do that if you have a bully breed. But it looks really cool, but it looks fucking painful, and I have a very low tolerance for pain for that, so I am jealous that you have naturally pointy ears. And the cool thing is, if you have an interesting shaped ear, if you find the right piercer, you can go to them and be like, hey, come up with something that looks cool for my ears, and they can like design you a whole project. I still follow a bunch of piercers on Instagram that I originally started following on Tumblr years ago, and some of them come up with some beautiful stuff.
And yes, left.
Yes.
Puppers can't consent, which is exactly why we're not going to dock their ears.
Yes, no tail. I think in BC it is now illegal to dock tails or ears. I think the exception being if there's a medical issue, because I recall a friend of mine's dog breaking her tail from wagging it super hard against something because she was sweet but dumb. And she developed like a massive scar tissue, and they had to like snippet below that, and then it didn't grow anymore. But I just got a new tattoo. You can't, it's very hard to show off your forearm on a stream, but I just got this deer on Tuesday, which was very exciting for me. But I love it, and now I'm like, right, I forgot how much I hate/love the sting of a tattoo, and I want more. I want so many more.
It's been too long.
It's expensive. I know, like, the only reason people do that to Dobermans and to pity mixes is to make them look more scary. If a dog has sticky uppy ears, like a German Shepherd, their ears are designed to be sticky uppy, and they've got fur and other things to protect their ear canal. Whereas if you've got a Pitty who's got floppy adorable ears, or a Doberman who's got floppy adorable ears, and you cut them to stand up like this, they basically just look like devil horns and make your dog look more scary. And that's it. You know, it's dangerous. Like, it's tongue is so happy and she's not ferocious. Exactly. Like, every pit bull I have ever met in real life has been the biggest, suckiest baby that I have ever met. Like, Pierce's dog.
Weren't they originally used as like nanny dogs for babies?
I wouldn't be surprised, because seeing videos of Pierce's dog Jade, who is a bully breed, with their kids, she is the patientest, sweetest, kind-hearted dogs. Like, yeah, Doberman's ears are not like that by default. That is a human going like, how can I make you look more scary? And then, yeah, they are loyal, they are sweet, they are gentle, and a lot of issues that lots of dog breeds have is because of humans, shitty owners, and humans being like, hey, you know what would be great if we took this pug and we bred it so that its face was so squished that if it's more than 10 degrees Celsius outside, it's too hot and it will breathe in hot air and die. Or that its eyeballs get all like bleh and pop out if it sneezes too hard, because we like them with the bug eyes and we bred them out, like bred out eyeball or eyelids and stuff. And yes, that is the natural ear of a Doberman. They're very sweet and cute and floofy, and yeah, they don't have the pointy ears at all. I didn't realize breeds like Corgis and Cocker Spaniels, like, I didn't realize they had tails, because up until like the last year or two, every Cocker Spaniel or every Corgi I had ever seen had a docked tail. So I truly didn't realize until I got older and was like, oh, Corgis have tails, and oh, Cockers have tails. I didn't realize that. So long story short, Nazi pugs can fuck off, TERFs can fuck off, xenophobes can fuck off, and if you do that to your dog, you can also fuck off. And if you declaw cats. We're establishing the stream rules of these are the things that we absolutely will not stand for, because I always have the caveat of like, everybody's welcome and all opinions and shapes and sizes and thoughts and blah 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 are welcome, except Nazis, TERFs, xenophobes, people who hurt animals, and if you like olives. I'm putting it out there. Fuck olives.
but olives are...
You can have my olives, dear. There are some that do have a naturally short tail, and then there are some that actually have quite long tails, and I believe Left is correct with the Pembroke Corgis have very, very stubby tails. Yeah, if the owner is a jerk, like my parents had when they first got married, we had a dog named Seika, and Seika was part Husky, part Doberman, or no, part Husky, part Rottie, part something else. So like kind of a mix of three very big dogs that, maybe a shepherd, that get the rep for being like aggressive and mean and all of that stuff. And Seika, God bless her, was so dumb and so sweet. I vividly remember this dog snapping a wasp out of midair, the wasp biting her tongue, her spitting it out, and then biting it again immediately, and doing that 3 or 4 times until we had to be like, Seika, you're not going to be able to breathe because your tongue is now and swollen out the side of your face. Like an idiot. Dumb. But because she looked scary, because she was similar coloring to the picture that Left just posted of like the black with the tan through it and some white, she just looked scary. And we would have like the paper kid, like the girl who did the paper route on the street before my sisters and I took over. She didn't like leaving the paper if Seika was out front, or we've had delivery people be like, I don't want to drop your food off because I'm scared of your dog. And we're like, she's a fucking teddy bear. Like, she is the sweetest dog. She was so gentle with me. My mom said there was maybe one instance of jealousy because dog was there first and then I showed up and ruined everything. That she,
as you do.
As I do, I tend to ruin things. I think I was in a Jolly Jumper and she like nudged me a little too hard and I like made a noise that wasn't good, and my mom like reprimanded the dog without physical harm, of just like no, and she never did it again. And then she was my BFF and protector. And yeah, like if it was for a utilitarian purpose or injury, I can see it. But if it's just like, here's my Cocker Spaniel, who is my big fluffy lapdog baby, and I'm gonna dock its tail. Dogs and Remus. I forgot your other dog's name was Remus. Oh, they're such good names. I loved them very much. My friend, she and I went and adopted a cat for her years ago. And her husband and I have disagreements on what the cat's name is, because her name is Nymphadora Tonks. This is the cat's name. Lovingly referred to as Basement Cat, because she just hides in the basement all the time. But he wanted to call the cat Dimebag Daryl. And so he calls her Dimebag, and I call her Tonks, and the cat is very confused as to what her actual name is, because the other cat is named Zach Wild. So he was like, well, we've already named one cat after a heavy metal guitarist. Let's name another one. And like Zach, he suits his name. I call him Jackawu, and he's very majestic and fluffy and pretty, and he looks like a little lion, and he's just a handsome boy. And Tonks suits the name Tonks. I'm like, number one, we're not calling this beautiful kitty Dimebag. She's at least an ounce. She's a good kitty. But live in an apartment that required cats to be declawed? Ooh, that's not okay. Like,
Yeah, but it's common.
But I don't think people realize that declawing cats isn't just like getting rid of the nails. It's like clipping off an entire knuckle. Because remember Llama posting about Asher. Or was it Lefty? No, not Lefty. Leon.
But no, it's
you're removing an entire nail. Or
Well, the
entire
first
part.
knuckle.
Yeah, so it would be like saying, oh, in order to live here, we have to take off all of the tips of your fingers. Like, it's the same thing, and it's usually not done. I feel like they don't do it with anesthesia. I could be wrong. I've fostered a cat. I have never owned a cat, so I can't speak to that aspect. However,
And I only had outdoor farm cats.
yeah,
so-
you had barn cats, so cough, cough. I'm old. It's okay. We're all old here. We're all ancient. I discovered on
You're
Tuesday.
all children. I'm old.
I still think Pins has us all beat, though. I believe Pins is like father Pins, grandfather Pins. I was gonna say daddy Pins. I don't know if he's okay with that label. Patch the first bone in. Oh, it is a surgical procedure. Okay, so at least a surgical procedure, but completely elective, unnecessary cosmetic reason. You can get those little plastic silicone tippy things. Altering boy toy. I like it. He's 34 and I'm 32. I can't believe I've been on Twitch since I started using Twitch when I was like 25, and I think I started streaming when I was like really started streaming in
It's okay. My job gives me an extra decade minimum.
yeah, half of a century. I'm older. Ha! Only by a little bit. That's okay. That means I have to respect my elders. Damn it. You're still a youngin'. Yeah, I think I hope Pins is okay with the label of Daddy Pins. Just barely older than my oldest daughter. See? Daddy Pins. Yes. Hubs is 53? He does not look 53. He's a handsome fella. However, unfortunately, I have no segue to this, is We need to go to the grocery store. Thank you. I like him. I think he might be a keeper. You guys have been married how many years now? I think you might be okay with him. Silver foxes are great, but yes, we have to. I have no segue. I have no ending thing. We have to get to the grocery store before it gets dark, and which is happening. It is starting. 10 years. I was gonna say, like, I knew there was a decade in there, but I couldn't remember if that was the marriage. But 7 years married and 10 years together is impressive. I was gonna say I'm envious, but I mean, 18 months has already felt like a lifetime.
Gee, thanks.
Old ball and chain. Old chain and ball. All right.
You are not
sister.
Gen X.
I'm not. No, I can't say that. This was fun. I appreciate. He's my boy toy. I'm like, yes. Baxter is crying. No, I was crying earlier because Urza broke me. This was fun. We are definitely going to do another one of these at some point. I don't know when, whenever I feel the need to vent, but everybody who hung out, that was super fun. Thank you guys for coming and chilling and sharing your stories. Again, like I mentioned before, and as Pierce mentioned, some of the topics got a little heavy and delved into very personal subject matter. If you need to debrief, if you need someone safe to do that, please by all means feel free to message me on Discord, and I will happily give you whatever space and time that you need to talk to me about it. Or again, if I crossed a line and said something that was supposed to be funny and wasn't, any offense or things misrepresented, please tell me. I can't grow as a human being if I don't know I've made mistakes or inadvertently hurt someone's feelings. We are going to damn it, Nymphy. We are going to let the auto host kick in. So actually, you know what? We are going to host Nagata because he is also doing Just Chatting. We're going to go raid him. He is also in Achievement Seekers and Unified Streamers with me. He does a lot of Dragon Ball Fighters and fighting games. And
you can't just go raid. What's the raid message?
Oh, the raid message is... I have no raid message. Just say that Aaron sent us. Smile. Yeah, I know. I don't have a raid command. I really should. I think I used to and I deleted it. Anyway, Aaron sent us. Go hang out with Nagata. He calls them just bitching, and they're very entertaining. The man makes some great points. Go hang out with him. And probably no stream tomorrow. Potentially Saturday stream, for sure Sunday stream. Urza, we're just leaving. We're gonna go raid my friend Nagata. And I will see you guys this weekend. Thank you for hanging out, the good chats, the vulnerability, the talks, and the debates about pizza toppings. You're all fantastic. I love you all. Have a good day. Bye, stream.